Jamestown, New York, the home of a playoff game in the West Division of the PGCBL. The first time the Pioneers have gotten to the playoffs in the past 2 years, and they get ready to try and make a run and earn back their West Division championship that they lost last year to Batavia. But in their way is a team that they have just faced once this season. It's the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. Both of these sides looking to make it through and get towards the PGCBL championship, and it's 9 innings taking place here on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. Anthony Labonte alongside Evan Baird taking you through the contest here today. 9 innings in the West Division. No mercy rule in this game. The score will end after 9, and we get ready for this one. Evan, how are you feeling entering into today?
You know, I'm feeling great. Definitely had an earlier night than we're used to from some road trips. You know, got back from Auburn a little earlier last night, so able to, get some more sleep today. But, ultimately feeling good, ready to watch a good playoff game.
And for the Pioneers, what it's going to look at is how this starting lineup is going to attack against Jamestown, because we know how well Jamestown can hit. We'll see how the Pios can hit. It's a similar lineup to yesterday. Starting things off is Thomas Cheplik. Manny Castro, he's at third, batting 2. Brett Baker remains in the 3 spot. Jalen Tidwell will now be listed, correction on that. It's actually going to be Brandon Duback who is going to be in that 4th spot. A graphics person needs to figure things out here for playoff time. Tyson Gingrich, he's in the 5. Jalen Tidwell, he's at 6. Trevor Reed's at 7. Ryan Jones remains behind the dish for 8. And then Manny Esley is the second baseman. This lineup, one of the strong ones that we have seen so far, especially those 8 unanswered runs they had yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, this top of the order has so much potential in it. You especially look at Brandon Duback and Brett Baker towards the top of that lineup. Yesterday, they both came through with some really big base hits, as well as Tyson Gingrich. So a lot of strong situational hitters on this team, a lot of good hitters overall on this team.
And the guy that you mentioned is having some big hits, Thomas Cheplik. He had a triple yesterday. He looks to get ready to go. The man that they face, Zachary McLean, who enters into today. This will be his 10th game started on the year. He has a 5.14 ERA that he enters in with, but is a strikeout guy. 46 on the season. Getting ready to go here against Thomas Cheplik. It's the first pitch of the West Division semifinals coming up just momentarily here as McLean gets set. He kicks and deals. That one fouled away. Official start time for this one, 6:36 p.m. on this lovely Monday evening. And so Cheplik already goes down 0-1 here in the top half of the first.
And I like the aggressiveness there. He got a fastball on the first pitch. Sometimes you'll just see the leadoff hitter take the first pitch, but not today. He was ready to swing it.
0-1, the throw. That one's hit on the ground. It's going to be attacked there by the shortstop coming in Enders. He throws over to first in time for Smith for the first out. And with that, let's take a peek at the fielders for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. At third, it's Caleb Jordan. Jackson Enders, he's at short. Eric Weeks is at second, while Nolan Smith plays at first. The outfield from left to right, C.J. Dugan, Grant Moore, and Nate Muncy, while Paul Delato is the catcher for McLean. So one down here. Now coming up is Manny Castro, named to the West Division Player of the Week this past week, alongside Tyson Gingrich. His first pitch, that one's going to go high. He went 500 last week in contests, and now looks to continue that one here, including that 4 times on base against Geneva last Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of great at-bats out of Castro so far. They're really going to need him if they want to make it anywhere.
So McLean throws. That one going to go inside corner strike. It goes 1-1 now here. Pioneers getting ready to go here. A lot of wind here today blowing on in as now Castro looks at this next pitch. That one will go inside corner again. So that's where McLean has been starting to work things through. That inside corner, it's going to be dominant so far.
Yeah, and he has a very lively fastball so far. We saw Cheplik get a couple of them, and he made contact with both of them. Castro seen another 2 here as well. He seems to be leaning on that pitch heavily so far.
So now it's a 1-2. The throw, that one is going to be strike 3 called. Gets on in there, and so now it's 2 down for the Pioneers. A ground out and a strikeout right now, and now coming up is going to be Brett Baker.
Yeah, and it feels like Baker's just one of the guys where if you really need the lineup to start getting going, he's the one that you want to see at the plate. So many times this season he's come up in a big situation. So many times he's delivered in big situations as well.
29 games so far in a row that he has gotten on base, trying to extend that to 30 with this one. As McLean gets set here, we are just 1 out away from seeing Mikey Geisler get set on the mound, who's got a fastball of his own, as you mentioned with McLean. That one goes outside, ball 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be 2 power pitchers today. A little bit different than what we saw yesterday with Zach Nelson and Auburn. However, both pitchers today have the ability to get that fastball way up there in the velocity and expect both of them to do so.
1-0 here to Baker. Righty-lefty matchup once again, and that one goes for a ball. Interesting lineup construction so far. Lefty, righty, lefty that they've been looking at. Normally you don't see that too often outside of when they had Delaney going in that leadoff spot.
Yeah, I mean, it's maybe just trying to stagger your hitters, knowing that you can't get a reliever that can come in and have an advantage against all of the guys that they have facing that they would face.
2-0. Swung on a miss there. A little late on that one for Baker. It goes 2-1. Fastball once again catching up to him.
And that's not a bad 2-0 swing right there either. That's just trying to put the ball in play, do some damage in a hitter's count. Baker just came up empty on that swing.
And so he'll dot up the corners of the diamond. There, the pentagon, actually, that you'd call that home plate. The throw, that one, outside corner again on the fastball. Baker asking about that one. He thought it was a little outside. But now it's going to be 2s on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs coming in now. Trying to get his second punch out of the day. Here's McLean. Sat, kicks, throws. That one swung on, foul by Baker.
Yeah, I mean, a good job just to stay alive here. Obviously, in the first inning here, if you don't get anybody on base, at the bare minimum, you want to make McLean work as much as possible, make him throw as many pitches as possible, so Baker's just going to try and fight here with 2 strikes.
Elmira, the 3 seed in the West Division, going against Jamestown, the 2 seed. Elmira jumped to that 3 seed yesterday with their win over Auburn. The throw outside, full count.
Another good take there from Baker. He just has an ability to work in at bat. Same with the guy on deck and Brandon Duback as well.
3-2 incoming. A strike here ends the inning. A pitch outside, and the Pioneers get their first base runner. As McLean throws that one. Swung on a miss there. Fastball once again. Foul tipped into the mid. 4 strike 3. So that's the top half of the first inning. When we return, Mikey Geisler gets ready to throw for the Pioneers here on the Pioneers Broadcasting Network. Returning here on the Pioneers Broadcasting Network, part of the first incoming now. And let's take a quick second and look at the PGCBL playoffs happening here. Pioneers, as we mentioned, they're at Jamestown today to take this one forward, and out there in Batavia, Auburn. They take on the Muck Dogs in that contest. The winner of these two go on to face each other in the West Division playoffs. But now we'll take a peek at the East side as well. Don't normally take a look at that, but it's Oneonta. They go to Amsterdam. Amsterdam, a strong team through the PGCBL, a likely favorite to win the entire championship. Then it's the Utica Blue Sox at the Socrates Stallions. So many factors to look at, Evan. Who do you see coming out as a big contender?
I mean, I think the obvious answer is going to be Amsterdam. Obviously, just incredible with the bats this season. You look at their numbers compared to everybody else in the PGCBL that goes for both the East and West divisions, and it's pretty clear that their offensive numbers are a step above the rest of the league.
And that's going to be something that both of these teams will have to worry about if they're able to make it to the next round. But only one of them can make it, and Mikey Geisler looks to try and make it in favor of Elmira. He comes up to pitch here. Once again, known for his fastball, he tries to work on this one. Coming up now is going to be Grant Moore, who's batting 339, right now on the season. He also is third in the West Division in stolen bags. First pitch from Geisler, that one, fastball in the zone for strike number one, and that's how he starts off his day.
I mean, just another fastball from a pitcher, and that one was electric coming off the hand of Geisler.
Can get upwards of 95 miles per hour. That pitch inside. 1-1. And so for Moore, it's not just the fact that he can get on, he can do it at a high rate. It's also he's got those extra base hits as well. 12 on the season, 8 doubles being noticed. That one's high again. It's 2-1.
Yeah, and Geisler's going to have to try and get command of his stuff pretty quick here if he wants to try and take care of these Tarp Skunks. Obviously, they're a fantastic team themselves here. Don't want to try and give them any freebies.
One game so far this season between these two sides. That was back at Dunfield, a scheduled doubleheader. The second game was called off due to rain. That one goes for a strike. But it was what seemed like a beatdown by Jamestown on Elmira. They look to try and get some revenge today. 2-2 incoming now to Moore. The throw, that one's fouled. Backwards, just laid under it. Remains the same count.
And I think that pitch right there means that Geisler might want to go back to it, just try and get it a little bit more inside on Moore here, try and get that swing and miss or get that called third strike because he was on that one, but if you go more inside, you got to get started a little faster.
It's 2-2, no outs. The pitch, that one, trying to go outside corner, no good, 3-2. So that's what's going to potentially separate McLean and Geisler today, getting that outside corner for the lefty batters. Full count here. First man up for Jamestown. The throw, that one, swung on there, heads over towards right field. Going back there is Tyson Gingrich. He moves back towards his right. He leaps and makes the grab there at the warning track for the first out. And with that, we'll take a peek at the fielders for the Elmira Pioneers.
Yeah, on the infield for the Pioneers, Manny Castro at third, Jalen Tidwell at short, Manny Esley at second, Brandon Dubek at first, and then in the outfield going left to right is Trevor Reed, Brett Baker, Tyson Gingrich, with Ryan Jones doing the catching for Mikey Geisler.
And Ryan Jones, this is the kind of guy you'd like to have at catcher in this sort of situation, especially with some guys with a lot of speed on the base path.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that the pitchers trust throwing to. He's a guy that the pitchers trust to throw base runners out if they try and steal against them. Just exactly what you want to have in a backstop.
So one down here comes up for the right-handed Eric Weeks, the second baseman for the contest, batting .347 right now this season. First pitch goes in there for a strike. A team OPS of .795 this year for Jamestown. Strong, not towards necessarily the top of the league, but still something to take a note of.
Yeah, it may not be towards the top. It's certainly not a number to scoff at either.
That one's fouled off hard there. It's going to be 0-2, just like that. See if maybe Geisler goes to some sort of breaking pitch or like an off speed to get away from that fastball.
I mean, maybe he goes fastball here just because so often in the first inning, pitchers won't show the full arsenal, so just going to have to see what he wants to throw.
0-2, the throw. That one's hit on the ground. It's going to be attacked there by Castro. He moves, throws, caught, tag, out.
Yeah, great job there by Brandon Dubek to adjust to the throw. That one went up the line a little bit. Does a good job to pop off of the first base bag, make the catch, and apply the tag. That's not an easy play to make over there at first.
And that's something we've seen with Brandon Dubek now playing in that first base position, considering he's been moving around from catcher, extra hitter, DH, first base now. This one of just his first 5 games that he's had over there on the corner, but working so well with them. As coming up now is going to be Nolan Smith. Batting .408 so far this year. That is a great number. He swings on the first pitch, though, for a strike.
I'm not too sure if he was maybe thinking that pitch was in a different location than it was, or if he was just simply fooled by what he saw there from Geisler.
Jones sits up on the outside part of the plate. He takes the pitch inside. It's going to go low, though. 1-1. So right now, Manny Esley over at second base. He's got his heels on the outfield grass because you generally see the lefties pull it towards right field. That one's low again. It's going to be 2-1.
Yeah, obviously nowhere near any sort of a defensive shift here against the lefty, but Esley definitely putting himself in a good spot here should this one be a hard ground ball towards him.
2-1, 2 outs for Smith. That one's on the ground, foul. Goes down the line there. Seemed as though it might have hit off of Smith. Give him a second before getting back in this one.
Yeah, more than likely just took that one to the inside of the foot there. Luckily, he has that ankle guard, that shin guard on that front leg there. We're seeing a lot more players adapting to wearing those guards, as obviously, if you can wear the protection, you don't want to risk getting hurt.
Yeah, and especially how hard these balls get hit off the bat. You get close to 90 miles per hour off the bat, that's the same as taking Geisler's fastball just to the foot. 2-2. That one outside, thought they had it. It's going to be a full count.
Yeah, the Pioneers dugout didn't seem to love that call, but still a full count here, so Geisler still has another pitch to be able to try and execute here and get out of the inning.
2 outs, 3-2. Trying to get their first base runner is the Tarp Skunks. They sent the Pioneers down 1-2-3 in the top half. The throw, that one, ball 4. Geisler thought he had the outside corner of the plate. No good. And now Smith heads over to first.
You never want to walk a batter, but if you do, the situation to do so is 2 outs with nobody on. It gives you the least % chance to give up anything further, and it means that you are still just 1 out away from getting out of the inning. However, still never a fun when you're issuing freebies.
I mean, when you think of power pitchers like Mikey Geisler, kind of think back towards guys like Roger Clemens, who kind of lived on the motto of, I'm not going to walk a guy. I'd rather get a hit than a walk in a situation. That's what happens here for Geisler. It's a walk there. As up to bat is Anthony Trommer. First throw well outside. They check to see if he swung. They say he did. Strike 1 in there from the field umpire.
Yeah, umpire not in the best situation to make the call. However, still a right-handed hitter, and he's standing around where the second baseman would be if he was playing in bunt defense for whatever strange reason, but in a good enough spot to make the call.
0-1. That one's hit on the ground, foul there. It's going to be an 0-2 coming in. And so that's something just to note with just 2 umpires for play. Unlike the MLB or, as you see, like Little League World Series that's happening right now, where you have umpires at all bags. This year, they're working with what they got. They already have a hard job as it is doing this one here. 0-2, 2 outs, man on first. Geisler throws. That one swung on him. It's there for strike 3. His first punch out of the ball game, and we head to a break. One man gets on for Jamestown. They leave him on. It's 0-0 as we head to the top half of the second inning here on the Pioneers Broadcasting Network. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Made, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, Serve Pro, Serve You Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South Corning Collision, the United States Army, the United States Navy, Vasco Brands, Wegmans, Wise Markets. Well, now we're returning here, top of the second inning, in what in a small sample size we could call potentially a pitcher's duel between the Jamestown Tarp Skunks and the Elmira Pioneers on this overcast day in July. Pioneers look to try and get their first man on. Up to bat comes Brandon Dumack, batting .265 so far in the season, playing over at first base. Zachary McLean got 2 strikeouts to start off his day. 1 forward, 1 backwards. That first pitch goes inside, ball 1.
Yeah, and Dubeck just a great hitter himself as well. Obviously, yesterday he had to hit that one up, breaking up the no-hitter that Auburn took into the 7th inning.
So 1-0 now coming in. The throw, that one goes in there for a strike. That game yesterday just felt almost like a rejuvenation in that 7th inning when Dumack got that hit, because all the way through it seemed like the Pioneers were just, even when it came to walking, weren't having a great time. Then all of a sudden, Dumack gets that hit, has that little play over at home. That one goes for a strike. And then 5 runs score, then 3 more, and they win the ball game and head on to the playoffs.
Yeah, obviously 2 big at-bats yesterday. The hit that broke up the no-hitter, and then what you were alluding to with the catcher play where he fouled it off, the ball hit the ground, and then after that, they ruled it strike 3 initially, but then reviewed it, came back, came to the conclusion that it was a foul ball. Dubeck walks, Pioneer score 5.
If you believe in the butterfly effect, then that is what ended up causing Olean to be eliminated from a chance at the playoffs. 2-2. That one swung on its comebacker, and that will be the first hit of the ball game. He got the first hit yesterday in Auburn, first hit here in Jamestown. Man on first for the Pioneers, Brandon Duback.
Yeah, just a great at-bat as well. Goes right back up the middle with a fastball, knows he can handle it, sends it right back to where it came from, and the Pioneers in business with the leadoff man on.
So now coming up is going to be Tyson Gingrich, the right fielder, stepping up now. As I mentioned before, he is the co-player of the week for Week 8, the final week of the PGCBL Awards. Looks to carry that momentum, his .500 hitting, into this game. Anthony Levante alongside Evan Baird on the Pioneers Broadcasting Network. That one, first pitch swinging on the breaking ball, fouled there for strike 1.
Yeah, I'm sure McLean probably had him sitting on a fastball there, but he winds up seeing an off-speed and swings and misses. Now the umpire with something to say towards the Jamestown dugout.
Seems as if there's something up here. Don't know what specifically could be. No sort of indication of what ended up happening. They were pointing to something in the stands. Wonder if it had something to do with potentially someone shining something in the eyes of the pitcher or something along that line.
Obviously, we're in no position to make the call on what was happening. We can't hear the umpires or see the fans here.
Nope. 0-1 count. Great press box, though. That one set on the ground there. Ground behind the third baseman. Flips over to 2. Throw over to first, not in time. So fielder's choice there gets the first out. Good throw by Jordan 2 Weeks for the first out. And Gingrich will now take over his spot. Dubeck's spot at first.
Yeah, I mean, Gingrich not a bad at-bat. Just hits that one over towards third base. A little bit too not quite well hit enough to be a base hit, but he does still leg it out. Does a good job to hustle there, get the fielder's choice, and avoid the double play.
Now coming up, Jalen Tidwell, the man who was voted on by Can USA as the hardest working player on either of the 3 teams, Elmira, Niagara Falls, and Batavia. And there's no reason why he shouldn't have that award. He shifted over from third base over to shortstop, has been working real hard at Dunfield to get a control of those bounces, and now, coming into this one, he looks continuing to ready to get his bat swinging. First pitch, that one swung on. It's over towards right field. Underneath that one is going to be Muncie. Grab there. Back over to first goes Gingrich. So 2 down now. First pitch swinging there by Tidwell. And now coming up is going to be Trevor Reed to go for this one. He had himself a hit yesterday. It was a 2-run single in the 8th inning. We're going to see if we can try and do it once more. And one of my favorite parts about Trevor Reed is when he's batting, no gloves. You see so many guys wear such crazy gear. They have the compression sleeves, the gloves, the thumb guards. He just pulls up, barehanded, ready to swing. First throw, and that one swung foul there.
Yeah, I mean, good for Trevor Reed for being able to swing the bat barehanded. I myself always found whenever I was swinging without batting gloves, just the vibration going through the bat really makes your hands sting, especially when you're talking about getting jammed. Even worse if it's on a cold night. I'm telling you, you feel like you're better off cutting your hands off.
You see, when I played Little League, I was never good enough to get a swing of the bat, so I never wore gloves. So here you go, 0-1 count now coming to Reed. The throw, and that one's fouled off.
Yeah, he's showing him a pair of fastballs here. He's fouled them both off, so wouldn't be surprised to see him go away from it here. Just give him something off speed, try and get him way out in front of it for the swing and miss, knowing it is a 2-strike count with just no balls, so a lot to work with.
Already 2 strikeouts on the day by McLean. If he can get, as you said, a swing and miss, strikeout number 3 ends the top half of the second. 0-2 here to Reed. The throw, that one outside. Trying to get him to chase. Go 1-2.
Yeah, the Pioneers are going to have to be really, really disciplined at the plate today. Obviously, when you're facing a fireballer, he's going to try and make you chase outside the zone, but just have to stay aware of where the strike zone is and not go fishing.
McLean, set, kick, steals that one. Outside corner, strike 3 the call. The second time today that he's gotten the batter looking on strike 3. And his third punch out, we head to the bottom half of the second inning. Pioneers get a hit, but not able to score. It's 0-0 here from Jamestown. Back here, bottom half of the second inning in this West Division semifinals matchup, and would like to make it known the first run of the playoffs has been scored. Not here in Jamestown. It was out in Batavia. Batavia leads over Auburn 1-0 right now. The winner of this game faces off against the winner in that one in the West Division Championship. Batavia looking to make it back-to-back like the Pioneers did in 23 and 24. As stepping up here is going to be Dom Costello for the Tarp Skunks. As look comes down there from Geisler, he throws. That one swung on foul. Jamestown, one of the few teams from the West Division to have won the PGCBL championship, one of just 2. Them and Newark all those years ago. 0-1 coming in now. Here. That one, foul. So the Pioneers in Batavia, who've won it the past 4 years, the West Division, still looking for their first PGCBL title as teams.
Yeah, but I mean, still just a great model of success. You figure 2 teams that have just been dominating a division that consists of a lot of great talent as well. So whenever you can just take care of business, you got to feel proud about that.
Fouled off, remains 0-2. And it's interesting just because of how much rivalry comes from just those 4 years. I mean, you have the top 2 teams for those 4 years basically at each other's throats just about every single time they play. Of course, Batavia also facing off against a rival in Auburn there with Coach Eaton. That one's fouled off there. Remains 0-2. Former coach for Batavia.
Yeah, definitely some bad blood in the West Division here of the PGCBL.
I mean, it's interesting because you have those 3 teams who just kind of bounce off each other, and then you have Jamestown, who is one of those teams that when they can get things moving, they will get it going, as that one's hit on the ground. Hensley grabs, throws to Duback in time for the out. So one down there for Mikey Geisler.
Yeah, solid job there by Geisler to just get the ground ball. That's what you're trying to do out here at the end of the day, give up weak contact. The best way to make sure the ball doesn't leave the park or do any serious damage is make sure the ball doesn't leave the ground. Trying to get ground balls is one of the best things you can do as a pitcher.
And so Geisler so far in this contest, 24 pitches. So Jamestown has been able to work the count, especially with that walk earlier. That was in a full count. First pitch incoming here to C.J. Dugan. That one swung on and missed there for strike 1.
Definitely had him sitting on a fastball there. He throws him a curveball, and that one bounces nearly in line with the front of the batter's boxes, and he just gets the swing and miss.
And so now Dugan will get back in there as Pioneers just 1 base runner allowed so far. That was via walk. No hits so far. That one swung on early for a strike. It goes 0-2 here as Geisler is now including a lot more change of his pitches, not just that fastball, but also the off speed that we've seen him use. Just counteract that mid-90s fastball with something a little bit lower. That one swung on a miss there for strike 3. That's punch out number 2 on the day for Mikey Geisler, and it goes down in 3 pitches.
Yeah, he throws what looks to be a slider on the outer part of the plate, and you mentioned it. He's mixing in more off-speed pitches so far, and that's normally what you see pitchers do. Once they get past those first couple of innings in there, they definitely start to mix it more in. And while it is just the second inning, Geisler just trying to show that he has more than just the fastball in the arsenal. Right now it's working for him.
And he'll try to see if he can continue that against Nate Muncy, who batting so far this year, 264. The throw, that one's ripped. Tidwell jumps, not able to go. It's above his glove. Heads over to left field where Reed grabs it. It's going to be a single coming in for Muncy. First hit of the day for the Tarp Skunks.
And a little underrated note there is how fast Trevor Reed was able to get to that ball. Muncy took an aggressive turn there over at first base, looking like maybe he was trying to see if Reed would be a little lazy getting to that ball, maybe lollipop it back into the infield. But a good job by Trevor Reed to have the awareness and just get that ball back to the infield.
And that one, Muncy was attacking. First pitch swinging. See if that's potentially what they end up doing, if they can find something they like, especially this guy here, Paul Delanto, the catcher. 230 so far this year. 2 down. The look, the throw. That one swung on there. It's popped up in the air. Tidwell calls off Hesley, makes the snag, gets the third out. So 1 hit for the Tarp Skunks, but nobody scores. We head to the top of the third. Pioneers nothing, Jamestown nothing. When we return here in the Pioneers Broadcasting Network. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Made, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, ServPro, Serve You Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South Corning Collision, the United States Army, the United States Navy, Vasco Brands, Wegmans, Wise Markets, Well Now Urgent Care, WETM, Wiggle 100, and Woodbrook Assisted Living. Thank you for sponsoring. Top of the third incoming now. Ryan Jones will step up to bat here for the Pioneers. They have just one hit in the contest. They got that in the last inning. So did Jamestown. They got their lone hit in that one too. So one base runner so far by the Pioneers. There's also a fielder's choice to put Gingrich on, but of course not going in there safely. First pitch from McLean. That one swung on a miss there by Jones. First strike, number 1.
Interesting choice there to see Jones be aggressive out of the box there, or out of the gate there in the batter's box. I mean, swings at the first pitch. That one near his eyes on the fastball, but he came in aggressive.
So 0-1 now coming here for the catcher. That one, outside corner strike, strike 2. Just painting so far is McLean.
Obviously not the best vantage point for us, but that one looked a little high to me up here. Going to have to see how that one looked for the rest of the night because there is just a real chance that's the perfect corner, and we just can't quite figure that out.
Well, 0-2 now, and if that is the perfect corner, McLean is going to be piling onto that one. That one's outside. 1-2 here now.
Good job by Jones to take that one, and then something to monitor. That was an off-speed there for the put-away, so maybe if he goes fastballs a lot earlier on in the counts, we'll try and get that put-away with the off-speed pitch, something the Pioneers should take note of.
1-2 to Jones. Fouled there. Batavia right now leads over Auburn 2-0. If they win the game, the first game, the game of the West Division Championship, will be heading over to Dwyer Stadium. If Auburn were to win, then the game will be heading either to Jamestown or Elmira, depending on the ending result here. 1-2 incoming. That one swung on a miss there for Jones. So that'll be the first out. Yet another strikeout here for McLean. He's got 4 in the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, right now he's just got that fastball working, getting a lot of swing and miss against it. A lot of it's been because he's going up in the zone with it, making the Pioneers lay off of it, a pitch that's so tempting to swing at, and right now they just can't catch up to it.
Now Manny Esley steps up to the plate. 375 on base percentage so far this year. Coming in that 9-hole. Last batter of the lineup before it heads to the top of the order. McLean's first throw. That one swung on a miss there for a strike. Oh, what?
Yeah, just a little bit behind on that one. It's another fastball coming from McLean. These Pioneers hitters are going to have to get it going a little earlier if they want to make contact.
And it's right now the only sort of shift is Jordan moving in, the third baseman. That one foul tipped into the mid. You can hear it off the bat. They'll go 0-2 now here.
Yeah, and Esley looked a little upset at himself after that swing. He knows that was a pitch he was on, just couldn't quite get to it.
The West Division semifinals here today from Dietrich Park. That pitch, strike 3 called there on Esley. He says something to the umpire as he goes down on strikes. That is going to be strikeout number 5. 3 looking, 2 swinging for the Pioneers, and now it's 2 down.
Yeah, right now McLean just has everything working perfectly, not to mention he's just locating his fastball with pinpoint accuracy right now. Difficult to make contact as it is, but if he's spotting that thing perfectly, could be a long day for Elmira.
Thomas Cheplik now up to bat. He grounded out his last time up. It was towards the shortstop. That first pitch is going to go low for ball number 1. 1-0 here to Cheplik. As so far, now in the second time through the lineup, you see where these spots are getting called for strikes. And going to have to attack on these 50-50 balls. That one goes for a called strike. It's going to be 1-1. Cheplik ready to go here with the 1-1 count and 2 down. The throw, that one. In there for a strike right at the knees of Thomas Cheplik there with the fastball.
I mean, McLean just has this outer part of the zone working right now. He's just a pitch away from striking out the side here in the 3rd inning.
And that would be impressive feat of his own. 1-2, 2 outs. The throw, that one's too high. To go 2s.
Good take there from Cheplik. We've already seen a lot of swing and miss at the high fastball in this game. Does a good job to lay off of it where he gets it, however.
Gets his sign there from Delato. Now gets ready to go when he throws, and that one's ripped, but foul towards the left side. Just pulled the shot a little bit off towards the left, opposite field there by Cheplik. Means 2-2.
And he's just going to be looking to do anything he can to either foul this pitch off, put it in play, or take it for a ball.
Fans here are getting loud, 2-2. That one swung on a miss. He's struck out the side. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night by McLean, as that's strikeout number 6, and we head to the bottom half of the third. 0-0. Jamestown looking to attack. Bottom 3 incoming now. Pioneers, they have not been able to score, trying to hold the Tarp Skunks to a similar fate. It was 3 up, 3 down on strikes last time for McLean. Geisler trying to see if he can mimic that as Jackson Enders will step up here. 171 on the season. Comes to the plate.
Yeah, and Geisler's just going to have to try and continue doing what he's done so far. Obviously, a great outing up to this point. However, still so early on. Just 2 innings that he's thrown up to this point. But just going to have to keep going with what he's had so far.
Pitch number 30 incoming here by Geisler. That one goes in there for a strike. 1 coming here for the shortstop.
Looks like he threw him a little get-me-over there on the first pitch of the inning. Definitely mixing it up a little bit.
0-1, wind blowing from left to right. That one swung on and missed there. That one went down towards the dirt. Looked as though Enders was preparing to swing all the way through that one.
2 off-speed pitches, 2 strikes from Geisler, and it's interesting. Usually pitchers will throw fastballs towards the bottom part of the lineup.
0-2. That one fouled. So it remains alive in this count. Going to be looking at pitch number 4 from Geisler. And so far today, just 1 hit for both sides. Pioneers, that hit was their lone base runner, have not been walked so far today. McLean has been picture perfect in terms of getting the corner of the zone. That one 0-2, outside, strike 3 called there for the 3rd strikeout of the day by Mikey Geisler.
I mean, talk about a pitcher that can work the corners in McLean. Geisler says, I'll do you one better. Hits a beautiful spot there on the outer part of the plate. Gets him looking for the first out of the inning.
Now up, Caleb Jordan, the 3rd baseman. Matt's 269 so far this year. Gets ready to step up and go for his team as well on the season. He's got an on-base percentage of .386. The throw, that one goes there for a strike. It'll be an 0-1.
Another good job there by Geisler to make sure he's able to get strike one on the first pitch of the at-bat. That's 2 out of 2 so far in this inning.
Next pitch, that one bounces down low. Count will now even up at 1.
So a similar sequence to what we saw from Enders as far as the first 2 pitches go. Gets the first pitch for a called strike, and then goes into the dirt with the second pitch, trying to get the swing and miss. Just a different result here as Jordan was able to lay off.
Left-handed batter looking to go. 1-1. That one trying to get the corner. Framing not enough there by Jones. They'll go 2-1. Now, I can't fully tell from here, but that one looked like one of the ones that McLean was throwing that seemed to be called strikes, but right there it goes for a ball.
That did not look like a bad pitch at all.
That one's hit on the ground there. It's attacked by Duback. He grabs it underneath, throws over to first. Geisler steps on the bag for the out.
Yeah, and that's an underrated play there from Brandon Duback. As a first baseman, it can be so easy to glove that ball and then get amped up and either throw it past your pitcher, overthrow him with your underhand, or just do really anything that can prevent him from being able to catch the ball. Just a good feed there from Duback. Hits Geisler in stride, leads him towards the bag. Textbook play there from Duback.
As now Grant Moore comes up to bat here for the Tarp Skunks. This is going to be the second time through their order. That 10-hitter hit last time. And now first pitch coming in here from Geisler. He had first pitch strike on the past 2 batters. He will not get first pitch strike there. That one runs inside.
And there, Geisler mixes it up a little bit. The first time this inning, he's gone to his fastball on the first pitch.
Gets his sign from Jones. Will put the knee down and get set to throw. That one, it goes for a strike there. So, even exchange 1-1 now for the batter. 2 outs right now. Every single time there's been a 2-out count here against a batter, it's been a runner for the Tarp Skunks, and it will come once again there. A hop comes in that there should be ruled as a hit, probably. They may rule it an error, but it will go down as a single coming in for Grant Moore.
I mean, that was a scorcher off the bat of Grant Moore, and we might be playing in Jamestown, but a little Dunfield hop there on the infield sends that ball over the head of Brandon Duback. Just an irregular hop there, and that'll keep the inning alive for the Tarp Skunks.
So as I was saying, when the Tarp Skunks are in 2 outs, the first batter after the second out has gotten on in the past 3 innings now. Second hit of the ball game here for Jamestown. Throw back over to first. Duback with a tag. No, not in time.
Yeah, I mean, right now, getting a lead over there at first base. Wouldn't be surprised to see him take off here.
26 stolen bags in the season here for Moore. He's going. Throw. Throw down. Esley, grab, tag. He runs out of the baseline, though. And that'll be an out. That there is the 15th runner that Ryan Jones has caught stealing, and that will be out number 3. We head to the top of the 4th. Pioneers and Tarp Skunks tied at 0s when we return here on the Pioneers Broadcasting Network. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Made, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, Serve Pro, Serve You Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South Corning Collision, the United States Army, the United States Navy, Vasco Brand. Top of the 4th, upcoming now. Due up for the Pioneers. It's going to be Manny Castro, Brett Baker, then Brandon Duback coming up for them. As Ryan Jones just had an absolute throw over towards second base to knock out Moore on a steal attempt. Pioneers trying to use that as momentum here in the top half of the fourth.
I mean, let's put it this way. Manny Esley caught that ball at second base so early. Moore didn't even have time to start his slide. It was that far in front of him. He was out by a lot.
Castro swings that one. It's going to drop on in towards right field. And Castro has his first hit of the ball game. Misplaying out there by Muncy. But that'll be a single for him. He's batting 500 today. And now he's on first. Leadoff single for the Pioneers.
Yeah, I mean, first pitch attacking there is Castro, and he just does a good job, sends that one into the opposite field for the base hit. Didn't try and do too much with it, and that's exactly why he's standing on first.
Second time today, there's been a leadoff single for the Pioneers. It came back in the second inning by Brandon Duback. And now Brent Baker comes up. He struck out himself last time up. Right here, pinch throw on over, pickoff attempt, no good for the right-hander. So he gets back on to the rubber, and Baker ready to go. Gone out swinging last time. That one goes for first pitch strike on the fastball.
And that might be the only fastball Baker sees in this at-bat. Right now, McLean's going to be trying to get a ground ball here, so going to be looking for a lot of off-speed pitches. And now that he's ahead, it's even more easy to try and throw waste pitches.
0-1. Castro, pick-off attempt once again. Castro doesn't even slide. He just gets the foot back on. So very concerned about Castro over there at first base. Here is McLean. Set now. The throw. That one fouled off. There, 0-2. Castro has 3 stolen bags so far this season. Not been caught stealing once.
And I don't think this is necessarily the situation to try and get the extra 90 feet, as while a runner in scoring position right here would be an ideal situation for Coach Drum and the Pioneers. Doesn't really seem like the situation where you want to try and risk an out, especially considering who's coming up next.
0-2 here for Baker. McLean gets set. The throw. That one's hit on the ground there. It's attacked by the shortstop and Enders. He steps on second, throws over to first. It's going to be in time. Double play, the 24th double play turned by the Tarp Skunks this season, and that's 2 down.
I mean, great play there by Enders over at shortstop. Does a good job to get that one from Baker. Runs that one to the bag himself. Strong throw over to first base. And that's a huge twin killing for the Tarp Skunks.
So 2 down here. As coming up is going to be Brandon Duback. 1 for 1 in the ball game. He has a single so far here today. 2 hits for the Pioneers. 1 by Duback, 1 by Castro. The throw. That one goes up high. Ball 1. So a 1-0 count coming here for Brandon Duback. The bases are now cleared following the double play ball. And McLean looking to try and get out of this inning. That one swung foul. That was a rough swing there by Duback. Looked like one that potentially could have broken the bat.
I mean, that right there was an interesting swing in a 1-0 count. That looked like he was trying to protect a fastball to avoid strike 3. But, yeah, very strange swing there for a 1-0 count.
45 pitches so far here by McLean. The throw, that one, swung on a miss there for a strike. The catcher is down. Seems to have hit him. And he'll wave off. Trainer looking. Seems to have hit his thigh.
Yeah, not a good feeling as a catcher anytime you wear a ball to any piece of the equipment. It's even worse when you wear it to the non-protective part. That thigh area just gets left rather vulnerable whenever you're there behind the plate, and I can tell you those don't feel too fantastic.
0 for 3 on the day are the Pioneers with 2 outs. Brandon Dumack looking to try and change that one up here. McLean gets set on the rubber. Gets his sign from Delato. The throw. That one runs inside. Jumping out of the way there is Duback. He'll pick up the ball and give it back to the catcher. It's going to be a 2-2 count.
Yeah, Duback's just going to do everything he can to try and work here at the plate. Such a tough out to try and record. Obviously, got the base knock his last time up, and just going to do everything he can to avoid being an easy out.
2-2 the count. 2 down. Look goes down there towards Duback, trying to get his second hit of the ball game. The throw, that one hit on the ground. It rolled over that one. It's attacked there by Enders. He throws over to first. Great throw there in time for the third out. So we head over to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Pioneers got a hit, but not able to score off of it. It remains 0-0 here from Jamestown. A pitcher's duel here in Jamestown between Mikey Geisler and Zach McLean. Between the Tarp Skunks and the Elmira Pioneers here in the West Division semifinals matchup between these two sides. Once again, these two teams have only faced off once. The other 3 times they were supposed to face off ended up not happening due to rain incoming on the forecast. Today, overcast, but no rain scheduled to come until closer to 10 o'clock. Up to bat now comes Eric Weeks, who was up to bat last time, but comes back on following Grant Moore getting gunned out at second base. That one high, ball 1.
Not a bad first pitch there from Geisler. Just missed a little bit up there, but just going to have to try and settle in here and get this fourth inning started.
1-0. The throw, that one swung on hard towards left field. It's back there, and that one is going to be off the wall. It's grabbed by Reed. He throws on over towards second base. A double, the first extra base hit of the ball game, goes to Eric Weeks.
I mean, that sounded like a shot coming off the bat there, looking out towards the wall. I was fully expecting to see that one clear the fence and go for the solo home run, but looked like that one hit off the top of the fence there out in left field, but certainly not a cheap one. You'll take your leadoff double every day, though.
Third hit of the ball game for the Tarp Skunks. Their first hit without a 2-out count. And now coming up is going to be Nolan Smith, the first baseman.
Feels like the Pioneers might be anticipating a bunt here.
As you see the corner infield moved on in. The throw, that one is ripped right towards the glove of Tidwell, who throws over to Esley in case he's in time to get to the bag. Not able to do so. Great ground there by Tidwell on the line drive.
Yeah, I mean, another hard hit ball off the bat of the Tarp Skunks. Jalen Tidwell, right place, right time, makes a good play, dropping down to the knee and grabbing that one for the first out.
So one down. Now coming up is going to be Anthony Traumer, the extra hitter. 0 for 1 on the day. He struck out earlier, swinging on pitch number 3. Geisler, 2 pitches so far in this inning. Both have been hit. One goes for a double, the other towards the glove of Tidwell. Geisler steps off. Disengagement there.
Pioneers certainly look less like they're anticipating a bunt in the situation here with 1 out compared to no outs.
Castro playing over towards third in case he has to cover and make the tag of the leading man right now in Weeks. That one's hit on the ground. It's played by Tidwell. He grabs it. He throws over to Castro, who gets the tag for the out, just as I mentioned. And Jalen Tidwell has been scorching up that left side of the field.
I mean, that's just heads-up baseball right there from Jalen Tidwell. A tough play going to his right. Obviously, all those momentum going away from first base there, so not a wise choice to make the throw over to first. Thankfully for the Pioneers, Not what he decides to do. Throws it on to third with Castro waiting for him. Huge play to eliminate the lead runner.
So man now on first base following the fielder's choice, but it's a force out at second and first now here for Costello. Grounded out his last time up, hit one towards Manny Esley over at second. That throw outside, ball one.
Yeah, and Geisler giving up a lot of very strong contact in this inning for the Tarp Skunks. He's very fortunate that the situation stands with a runner on first and 2 outs with no runs coming across up to this point.
1-0 coming on now. Look down. Pick off, throw, no good. Geisler with a quick move there. Got the step off and the throw. So still a 1-0 count coming here to Costello. Designated hitter on the regular season, batted .273. That one swung, it's popped up high. Tidwell calls off, and Tidwell will make all 3 outs of the inning. There's a hit come in, the double, but nothing else able to come from it. It remains 0-0, and in this ball game, we head to the 5th inning, tied on the Pioneers Broadcasting Network. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Made, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, Serve Pro, Serve You Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South Corning Collision. Top 5 now upcoming. Pioneers got all outs in the last inning off the back of Jalen Tidwell, who had the line drive catch, the pop fly catch, and then the grab out into the outfield where he threw over to Castro for the leading man out. As coming up to bat now is going to be Tyson Gingrich. 0 for 1 in the ball game. He had the fielder's choice where he was able to get on. Jamestown tried to turn a double play, but not able to do so. As McLean gets set now here on the mound. He has been efficient so far in this ball game. First pitch there to Gingrich, swung on a miss there for strike 1. He's thrown just 49 pitches through those first 4 innings.
And I mean, a large part of it right there, you get strike 1 on Gingrich. Right now, McLean just doing a fantastic job of getting ahead of these Pioneers hitters.
0-1 incoming now. That one, a foul attempt, strike 2. Coming here. The hit discrepancy so far, 3-2 in favor of Jamestown. No errors in the contest. Anthony Labonte alongside Evan Baird taking you through this 9-inning ball game here in the West Division semifinals. Throw, that one's fouled off. Remains 0-2.
Good job by Gingrich to spoil that one. Looked like McLean was trying to go back to his fastball on that pitch. Good job by Gingrich to just make sure he got any sort of a bat on that one. Now it seems like we're in a situation where maybe we could see McLean bounce one.
And the other game in the West Division semifinals, it's 7-0 in favor of Batavia in the top half of the 4th inning. 0-2. Swung on a miss there for strike 3. Another punch out coming in for the man on the mound in McLean. That's number 7. And it's 1 down for the Pioneers.
I mean, he's just got everything working right now. He's gotten a lot of strikeouts with the fastball. That one, he goes towards a slider towards the back foot of Tyson Gingrich. He swings right through it for the first out of the inning.
One down, Jalen Tidwell, after having a strong defensive half inning, comes in for the offensive half of it. As the first pitch is thrown here. That one swung on and missed for a strike.
And the Pioneers, I think, are going to have to try and make the adjustment to do less, try and do less with the fastball, just try and do everything you can to just get contact with it, but it seems like right now they're trying to be way too aggressive with their swings against it.
0-1 coming now. Outside, 1-1. Tidwell, good eye there. Yesterday, offensively, not the best day for him. He struck out 4 times, was able to get walked and went around the base path. Gets ready to go. 1-1, the throw. That one fouled. Tidwell, big crack there of the bat.
I mean, he did a good job to get to that pitch. However, now he's staring at a 2-1 count here. Definitely not where you want to be in the batter's box. Got to be protective no matter where this pitch is.
1-2. Coming now. The fans getting ready here at Dietrich Park. The pitch, that one, corner, strike 3, and Tidwell knew it.
I mean, nothing you can do against that pitch right there. McLean has just been spotting everything beautifully today. That one goes to the outer part of the zone. Tidwell watches it go by, and now a chance for McLean to strike out the side for a second time today.
He did it back in the 3rd inning where he took down Jones, Esley, and Cheplick. Now Trevor Reed comes up for this one. Last time he struck out looking on the ball game. That one goes there for a strike. Everyone so far today has struck out outside of Brandon Duback. 8 punch-outs on the day here for McLean.
Yeah, he's just been stellar on the mound up to this point.
That one goes low. 1-1.
I mean, he just has a great feel for all of his pitches right now, seemingly putting it exactly where he needs to put it every single time. Pioneers can't quite seem to catch up to his fastball and certainly are having troubles hitting his off-speed right now.
As he just takes a breath and shakes off the shoulders. The 1-1 incoming. Outside again and low.
Good take there from Trevor Reed, and sometimes taking pitches against a good pitcher is one of the best things you can do. Just try and see as many pitches as you can, drive that pitch count, just try and get him out of the game as early as possible because while he may be effective, if you can drive the pitch count, there's not much you can do.
He has not thrown a walk today. That one hit hard there by Reed, but it heads over towards the right side of the outfield for the catch and the 3rd out. So not able to strike out the side, but 2 more punch-outs in his arsenal. 8 on the ball game. Head to the bottom half of the 5th. Pioneers, no score. Jamestown, also no score. Here on the Pioneers Broadcasting Network. Return here, bottom half of the 5th, and we take a peek real quick at the playoffs standings, as we mentioned before. Elmira and Jamestown right now tied at 0s, but up in Batavia, it's 7-0 in favor of the Muck Dogs. That game right now in the bottom of the 4th inning, while on the east side, Amsterdam, they lead over Oneonta. It's 4-2 in the bottom of the 3rd, and Utica and Socrates tied at 0s there in the top of the 5th. Return here to Dietrich Park. Geisler remains on the mound. As right now, that last inning was a tough one considering, maybe not scored any runs, but a couple of hard-hit baseballs.
Yeah, I mean, you got to feel good about what you're doing at the plate if you're the Tarp Skunks. Definitely felt like you did enough in that inning to warrant being able to get a run across, but a costly base running mistake, as well as just some beautifully situated players for the Pioneers is the reason why they're still a 0 on the scoreboard.
CJ Dugan comes up as right now in this ball game, Mikey Geisler has just thrown 46 pitches, looking to try and get through. McLean up to 60, that one fouled. Over towards the bullpen for the Pioneers. Just roped over there.
That one might have hit the light standard and bounced back into the stands there. Not something you see too often.
I mean, the ricochet physics of these baseballs, something that our groundskeeper Connor Kenny loves to tell us all about at Dunn Field. That one's hit on the ground. It's attacked there by Tidwell. He throws a dewback in time for the out.
Good job there by Tidwell to stay patient, let that ball take the long hop there. Something that's much more manageable than trying to field the ball on an in-between hop. Tidwell does a good job staying patient, strong throw over to first.
And so now it's one down. Coming up now is going to be Nate Muncy, who is 1 for 1 in the ball game. He had a single. That was in a 2-out count. Was able to get on, but not able to go much further. Next batter flew out. First pitch incoming to him. That one goes down low, ball 1.
Yeah, I mean, Geisler's done a good job overall today of trying to get ahead of hitters, just not quite able to find the zone on that one.
Squares and throws. That one is ripped towards left field. Trevor Reed, though, underneath it for the out.
Yeah, a well-struck ball there towards the opposite field by Muncy. Reed does a good job, take a couple steps back, and just get to a spot where you can wait for it. Good play there by Reed.
2 down now. As up to bat comes Paul Delanto, the catcher, who so far today has 0 for 1 following his pop out. And he'll step back on in, ready to go here against Geisler. Some hard contact right now, but Pioneers able to make up for it. That one goes upstairs.
Yeah, and 2 power pitchers, but it seems like what the results they're going for are a little different here. McLean obviously just going at the Pioneers, trying to get the strikeouts here. Geisler's definitely pitched more towards contact, and the hit discrepancy is only 1 up to this point, but definitely a lot more balls put in play from the Tarp Skunks up to this point.
It makes me think as though it's a power sort of Zach Nelson as we saw yesterday. Zach Nelson obviously one that goes for those ground balls or for those fly balls, but he does it on his breaking stuff. Geisler using his fastball in terms of that situation.
Yeah, Nelson with a fastball that tops out in that mid-70s range. Geisler's got a fastball that can be touching up in the 90s.
That one goes down low, ball 2. It's a 2-1 count now incoming. No score here from Jamestown. The first time the Pioneers have been at Jamestown here in the 2026 campaign. It comes in a win-or-go-home game for both sides. 2-1. Geisler gets set and squares to throw. It's in there for strike number 2. 2-2 now the count here.
I mean, not really sure what DeMalto was looking for on that. That looked like a middle fastball on a 2-1 count. So, strange decision to lay off.
Delanto with the 2-2. The pitch, that one swung and I missed there on the foul tip for strike 3. Another punch out there. Strikeout number 3 for Geisler. Still nothing's on the board between these two sides. Head to the 6th here from Jamestown, New York. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Maid, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, Serve Pro, Serve You Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South Corning Collision, the United States Army, the United States Navy, Vasco. Top 6 now incoming. Coach Drum runs down over there as Ryan Jones gets ready to step up now for the Pioneers. Still scoreless here. All the scoring has gone out in Batavia, where they lead 7-0 in the top of the 5th. Winner of this ball game takes on the winner of that one, which that one looks like it seems to be in favor of Batavia, but you never know. Always gets some comebacks in the West Division.
I mean, baseball is notoriously such a difficult sport to predict. Obviously, so much can go right, so much can go wrong. 7 runs in a playoff game, however, could turn into a tied game just like that.
As that first pitch to Jones goes for a ball, holds off there. It's going to be 1-0 coming now. Ryan Jones had that big throw out earlier in the ball game behind the dish. He just lasered one over to Astley to catch more stealing. The throw, that one swung on a miss there for a strike. The guy who is third in the West Division in terms of stolen bases, not able to get on to second base, just off that power throw in the arm.
Was not a particularly close play at second base either.
1-1 here. Coming towards Jones. McLean, that one. Strike. Outside corner. Strike there. Now it's a 1-2.
And for Jones, you just got to do everything you can here to try and see more pitches, try and drive the pitch count of McLean here. You don't have to try and get on base here, although that would be an added bonus, but just try and see another couple pitches here in a 2-strike count.
1-2. The pitch swung on. That's on the ground. Drop third strike. Grabbed. Throwed. Out. 9 punch-outs on the day here from McLean. The Pioneers have just been not able to get a bat on ball. Now coming up is going to be Manny Astley. 2 hits so far by the Pioneers. Pair of singles. Astley comes up 0 for 1 a ball game. He struck out last time looking.
And it feels like outside those pair of singles that the Pioneers have, there hasn't really been a ton of competitive at-bats today. McLean's just had full control of this game on the mound.
First pitch coming to Astley. That one is hit high into the air, over towards right center field. Underneath it and making the play is going to be Muncie for the second out. So first pitch swinging coming from Astley. Now it's 2 down here. McLean so far in this ball game has just thrown 65 pitches. As it's top of the order, Thomas Chemplik now up to bat.
I mean, 65 pitches through 5 2/3. That's about as efficient as you could possibly be. Just a fantastic outing up to this point.
Chemplik with that lower stance you have likened before, Evan, to that of Luis Arias. That one goes in there for a strike.
Yeah, I mean, just keeps the feet out wide here. Definitely just keeps the bat a little off the shoulder. He's always ready to swing it, always with that short swing to try and make contact similar to Arias.
0-1. That one hit off the end of the bat, heads over towards left field in foul territory. It's not going to be enough room. It hits off the light stand and back into play, but in foul territory.
Yeah, and Cheplik is going to have to try and fight here at the plate. Another Pioneer in a 2-strike count in this inning. It feels like every time McLean's able to get strike 1 against a hitter, he's able to get strike 2 just as easily. So putting the Pioneers in a hole in these at-bats has definitely been something he's been exceptional at today.
Something interesting about these lights is how they're all shaped like home plate. They're all that kind of pentagram shape.
Yeah, I noticed that as
Pentagon, excuse me, not pentagram. That's a star.
I noticed that as well today. Just a little interesting quirk here.
That one's outside. Try to show you if I can in between innings, but just an interesting sort of light stand. You normally see the ones that just go straight up and have the lights popping off.
I'm also not an architect, so there maybe is a real chance that there could just be an architectural advantage to building these light stands that way.
Have to ask Ted Mosby. 1-2, incoming to Jeplick. That one's hit on the ground there. Enders is running on for that one. Quick throw, quick timing, quick out. 3 down. We head to the bottom half of the 5th. It's still nothing. Bottom half of the 6th, excuse me. Nothing here between these two sides. We return here, bottom 6, and we mentioned just how efficiently McLean was for the Tarp Skunks. Geisler has only thrown 55 pitches in this contest.
Yeah, I mean, just two pitchers that have put themselves in a fantastic position to work deep into this game. We've already seen McLean get through his 6th inning of work. Geisler about to get his started, but again, just allowed one more base hit than McLean has up to this point. Definitely giving up more traffic, but mitigated it up to this point very well.
But also, it's been over a 70% strike rate for both pitchers. That one goes for a ball, though. It's going to be a 1-0.
I mean, when you're throwing strikes, good things happen. Either you get the swing and miss or the call, or you just get the ball put in play. It's been a lot of a combination thereof for both pitchers today, but they've both been fantastic up to this point.
That one trying to go back foot. It's going to be ball 2. And now, nothing here. Just 5 hits in this entire ball game. 6 men have gotten on between both sides. That one's fouled off. It's going to be a 2-1.
And a good job to get a strike there from Geisler. Don't want to fall behind 3-0 to the leadoff hitter. Does a good job to keep himself in this at-bat.
This could honestly be counted as one of the first kind of pitcher's duels that we've seen all season, maybe outside of that game yesterday with Nelson. Tidwell throws over to first. It's going to go on in there. Is it in time? It is. Good throw by Tidwell on the back half of the diamond for the out.
Yeah, makes a great play on that one. Gets to the backhand. Makes sure he gets to that ball with enough momentum to throw to first base. Good job by Tidwell to make the play. Strong job by Geisler to get the first out of the inning and come back in an at-bat that he trailed 2-0 in the count.
Caleb Jordan now up. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. He grounded one over towards Brendan Duback, who just flipped it over to Geisler, who stepped on the bag for the out. 1 down here. That one is ripped, and it's going to drop into shallow left field. A single, if not more, coming in. Reed with a good throw. It'll just be a single at that for Jordan.
Yeah, Caleb Jordan just came up ready to swing with a purpose. Gets a fastball, just what he's looking for. Sends it into the opposite field. Great at-bat there. Now a runner on here for the Tarp Skunks.
And now up, it's going to be Grant Moore, who had a single back in the 3rd inning. That was with 2 outs. Got caught stealing, though. Geisler would like a ground ball here. Potential opportunity to turn another double play. Excuse me, turn their first double play of the game. Bunt shown, pull back, ball 1.
Don't hate the aggressiveness there whatsoever from Jamestown. Top of the order coming up. Trying to just get a bunt down, try and make something happen here. Get a runner into scoring position, and you're just a base hit away from a run.
You get a lot of speed there by Moore. If he shows bunt, that means that one on the ground, you expect Ryan Jones to run, grab that, and throw to second for the force out. That one's outside, 2-0.
I mean, Geisler probably has that bunt in the back of his mind here, but he has to make sure that he still throws strikes. He's just a pitch away from falling behind 3-0 in this at-bat.
2-0 count now, man on first base. Geisler has just given up one walk so far in this ball game. That was back in the first inning to Nolan Smith. Throw back over to first, not in time. Lane's 2-0.
And Geisler's just trying to keep Jacobs' lead over at first there, honest. Just trying to make sure he doesn't get any additional steps compared to what you want to give him. Letting him know that he's got him in the back of his mind.
Jordan on first. Looking potentially to run. He's going to run now. Throw comes in, and he just beats out Geisler, and that one runs inside. 3-0 count now here.
Yeah, and for Geisler, that's one he's going to want back, just not stepping off and throwing towards second base there. Jacobs took off a little early on that one. Just lucky that Geisler was committed to throwing home.
Caleb Jordan with the stolen bag there.
Jordan, excuse me, not Jacobs.
3-0. The pitch, that one, going to go high, ball 4. 4-pitch walk comes in there, second walk of the ball game, and now Ryan Jones is going to come up to his arm and discuss. He looks over towards the dugout, or he won't discuss. It looked like he was getting ready to go up there, but no shot. That's the second walk of the ball game, and now it's 2 on for the Tarp Skunks.
And maybe not a bad situation if they were to call a mound visit here. Just obviously this seems like the first big threat that Geisler has faced today. He did have the runner on second base to open up an inning a couple frames ago. However, now first and second, one out. You are just a ground ball away from getting out of it, but certainly the toughest situation he's faced yet today.
Every bag on the infield able to get touched on and sign off home plate for the force out. Geisler following the 4-pitch walk. It's a steal coming in. That one grabbed. Throw down to third. It's not going to be in time. Stolen bag once again. Jordan steals the bag, and Moore heads over to second for his 27th stolen bag on the season. Now it's a 1-0 count with man on third, man on second.
And again, Geisler just took a little too long to get to the plate there. They took off before he wound up starting his motion, and again, just committed to throwing home. Right now, they've got a count on him perfectly, and they've stolen every time.
90 feet away from getting the first score of this ball game. Astley playing in the throw. That one fouled. 1-1. Wide stance there for Manny Astley.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be expecting a ground ball here. Geisler should be throwing a lot of these pitches lower in the zone. Try and give himself a better chance at getting a ground ball here. Just going to try and avoid getting that fly ball, getting that sac fly, or worse, an RBI base hit.
Ground ball, do you attack home first or do you throw over to first?
It depends on if the runner breaks. If he breaks, imagine the throw's going to the plate.
That one inside, 2-1.
This seems like the type of situation where if the runner should break, they're going to try and get him at the plate based on how this game is going, how McLean's been throwing. It feels like one run could very well be enough to win.
2-1 the count, one down. Man on second, man on third. Caleb Jordan has stolen 2 bases so far, and that's what puts him 90 feet away from home. That one is hit high in the air. Potential opportunity for a sacrifice fly. Grabbed there by Gingrich. The run comes in. The throw goes in. It's going to be up the line. It's going to score a run. Good block there by Jones to limit the damage. 1-0 on the sacrifice fly. Jamestown leads.
Yeah, that's just a beautiful situational at-bat right there. You get the fly ball. You do your job. You get the RBI. And now we have our first run of the game in the bottom of the 6th inning. Definitely not where I would have placed my bet on it to be at the start of this game, but both pitchers have been doing fantastic up to this point. And there's finally the first run of the game.
See if they try and appeal over towards third.
I think, if anything, the umpire was just telling Geisler to take a second on the mound there, because I think Gingrich might have kicked up a little piece of the grass out there at right field, just making sure he can put it back in place, sort of like when you take a divot in the fairway playing golf, just replacing that strip you take out.
I know a thing or two about that one. Not the best golfer. 2 outs. 4 hits so far by Jamestown. They lead 1-0. That one's up high. Pioneers were trailing 2-0 yesterday in Auburn. Were able to come back and score 8. So 1-0 count. Coming on now here to Nolan Smith. Had the line out last time. That went over towards Jalen Tidwell. That one's outside. It's going to be 2-0. Speaking of the Auburn Double Days, they scored their first run. It's 7-1 right now in favor of Batavia. The bottom of the 5th inning, and the other semifinals matchup. 2 on, 1 down for Batavia. 2-0, the throw. That one is hit foul there. Looked as though it was on the backswing and ended up getting the bat.
Yeah, I mean, not entirely sure where that ball wound up hitting after the initial contact from the bat to wind up in fair territory, whether it was off the foot of the bat or off the chest protector of the catcher. But either way, Geisler gets strike one, and that's a very big pitch. It feels like this inning he's definitely gotten behind a little bit on getting ahead of batters, and that's a large reason that has contributed to the Tarp Skunks getting on the board.
Right-hander Sam Watts begins to warm up over in the bullpen for the Elmira Pioneers. He's just starting to get loose in case they need him.
Lucas Rylander also out there stretching a little bit.
So, potential chance if this one were to get broken open for someone to score. That one is going to drop on in another run here for the Tarp Skunks. It's 2-0, a single, RBI single there by Nolan Smith. He's got his first hit of the ball game. Now 2-0, Jamestown.
And right now, I just can't help but think about those couple of stolen base attempts that Jamestown had where they were off before the delivery had begun from Geisler, and he didn't step off. Had he been able to step off and record the outs, would have gotten out of the inning unscathed. However, now it's a 2 spot for the Jamestown, and they're still in business here.
Anthony Traumer up now. If the scores in both of these games were to hold, it'd be a 1v2 matchup in the West Division Championship game between Jamestown and Batavia. That would be at Dwyer Stadium. Still a lot of baseball to go in both ones, though. That one goes high, getting close to the late innings of this one. Of course, the late innings be 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, I mean, feels like we're getting through this game in record time.
So far in this one, it's gone through in about an hour and a half. That throw back over, not in time.
So oftentimes we hear hour and a half in a Pioneers game, and you assume that we're anywhere between the 3rd and 5th innings, certainly not in the bottom of the 6th.
Geisler looks down, 1-0 count. Gets set and throws. That one is going to go for a called strike there. It's something where when you don't have that pitch clock like in the MLB or the disengagement rules as the MLB has, these games can sometimes feel like they go a lot slower. But right now, this one has just breezed on by through an hour and a half. Pitch, that one swung on a miss there. For strike 2 is an hour and a half right now on the minute.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good pitch there from Geisler in a 1-1 count. Goes to his off-speed, gets the swing and miss from Traumer, who was well out in front of the pitch. A lot of times today he's had them anticipating fastball and throwing something else, and that's why he's gotten so many swings and misses today.
1-2, 2 outs, trying to get out of the inning, limiting the damage. The throw, that one's fouled. 2 runs have scored for Jamestown so far. Coming on home was Caleb Jordan and Grant Moore for the runs. Off a sacrifice fly and a single, Eric Weeks and Nolan Smith. 1-2 remains the pitch. That one. Did he go? They check down. No swing. Will be a 2-2.
Yeah, good job to check the swing there from Traumer. Definitely started the swing. Did a good job to break the wrist, keep the bat where it was, and keep that barrel from crossing home plate.
Traumer did have a time earlier in the ball game where the appeal went down, and he was called swinging on one that he did not think he went around. So, saves up there. 2-2. The pitch. That one is hit high into the air towards right center field. Attacking that one is going to be Baker, and he flashes the leather and gets the out. So 2-run score for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. The Bats now having a look to try and make up the damage already allowed. It's 2-0 as we head to the late innings. The top of the 7th coming up when we return. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Maid, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, ServPro, ServU Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South Corning Collision, the United States Army, the United States Navy. Top 7 now incoming. It's the late innings. At this time yesterday, the Pioneers were getting no hit against the Auburn Doubledays. Now looking here, down 2 runs. They were able to come back in that one and win 8-2. As up to bat now comes Manny Castro, Anthony Labonte, and Evan Baird taking you through this playoff game in the West Division, the semifinals here. The other game in the semifinals, Batavia and Auburn. Batavia leads 8-1. That first pitch goes for a ball, so not able to get first pitch strength here is McLean.
Yeah, and the Pioneers are going to have to hope that they get a lot more of that in the early goings of their at-bats here. It seems like they're falling behind so easily today, and that's a large reason why they've been held to just 2 hits so far through 6 innings.
Castro 1 for 2 in the ball game. Pitch, that one swung on a miss there for a strike. It's going to be 1-1. Castro just committed to Georgia State. He's going to become a Panther. D1 college baseball coming up for him. Made his commitment announcement on Instagram earlier today. 1-1. Pitch, that one goes low. It's 2-1.
I mean, from our vantage point, I'm not too sure where that one missed. That looked like a fantastic pitch from McLean. Maybe a little bit too far inside there on Castro, but 2-1 count here. He's going to have to try and capitalize, get something going.
2-1 incoming now here for Manny Castro. The throw, that one well inside and high. It's going to be a 3-1. Fastball still looking as prevalent as ever.
Yeah, and I mean, Castro, one of the better hitters on this Pioneers team, but in a strange way, it almost feels like this is an auto take. Either get to the full count and make him have to throw more pitches, or just take your base here. Seems like it really can't go wrong here.
No walks so far today by McLean. It's a 3-1 count. Incoming now. The pitch. That one ripped foul. So does not take there. He goes on swinging. It's a full count coming on now. Has to protect the plate here.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad swing either. Just a little late on the inside fastball. Couldn't get anywhere near where he wanted it on the bat, but now it's just going to be about staying alive.
Count is full here for McLean. Has not walked a guy today, but has been able to strike out men. 9 so far in this contest. That one outside, ball 4, his first walk of the ball game, and sometimes it's all about confidence that Manny Castro had there walking over to first.
Yeah, I mean, he sees that pitch straight into the catcher's glove and breaks for first base, confident in the call there. Luckily for him, he wasn't rung up, and now it's going to be on Brett Baker.
Brett Baker comes up. He grounded into a double play his last time up. That was following a Manny Castro single. First walk of the ball game by McLean, as no one is warming up right now in the bullpen for Jamestown. There's a man throwing a football right now, but no one in terms of baseballs being thrown out there. Throw back over to first base. Not in time on the pickoff.
I mean, that could all just be part of the warm-up process. You know, some pitchers have their own little unique way that they like to get loose. Not indicating that this could be a guy in the bullpen getting ready, but maybe throwing a football is part of the routine.
75 pitches so far by McLean. As Castro sits on first base following the first walk of the ballgame. He's going to run. That one swung on there by Baker. Castro's going to have to run back on over. It goes into foul territory. Underneath that one will be the third baseman in Jordan for the out.
And I think Brett Baker's going to want that one back. Manny Castro got a great jump on that one. 0-0 pitch. and Baker just winds up popping it into foul territory. And they're going to say that Castro's out as well for not hitting the bag when he came back by the looks of it.
That's confusing here because he was stealing over, and that's very confusing.
Castro getting his piece in here.
Castro's yelling on over about it there.
I made sure I was looking at Castro. It looked very clearly like he touched second base when he was running back. He did get to the bag, and then when he went back, he was on the bag and ran back towards first base. I think the umpires dropped the ball on this one.
So 2 down now, no man on, following what was there. I couldn't even tell you. Castro goes down, double play there. That one's hit on the ground by Duback. Throw on over from Enders in time for the 3rd out. Pioneers able to get a man on, but then 2 outs on a wonky play and then a ground out by Duback. We head to the bottom half of the 7th. Have to see if Coach Drum has any conversation with the umpires about that call. When we return here, bottom 7, Pioneers looking to keep their defense going as Castro and Drum continue to discuss. Bottom of the 7th here as Geisler remains on the mound for the Pioneers following what was a double play ball that came in the top half of the inning where they ruled that Castro did not tag second base on his way back over to first following a steal attempt. In that situation, it looked like Castro had his foot on the bag the entire time when it was caught.
I mean, in the situation like that, the ruling I'm imagining is that Castro went to second base, touched it, and then on his way back didn't touch second base, which I don't think he ever left second base once he got there until he started running back to first base. I disagree with the call. I'm not really too sure what the umpire was basing his call on.
My guess is it's the second that the ball went into the glove of Jordan. That first pitch coming to Costello goes a little bit high. Now it's water under the bridge.
Because, I mean, obviously Castro's safe at first base. There was no throw over to try and get him in that forced play situation. So, at the end of the day, though, it all does go back to Brett Baker swinging in an 0-0 count on a pitch that looked like Castro had second base stolen.
One call will not make the ball game. You have to get your mats all set in order. It's 1-1 now coming in. Good strike there by Geisler to make it a 1-1 count. As he gets set now, and Costello so far today 0 for 2. He whiffs on that one for strike number 2.
Looked like he got a changeup there from Geisler, just way out in front of it there, anticipating the fastball.
1-2 count coming on now. Bottom of the 7th inning. Pioneers are down to the last 6 outs to work with when they come up to bat. But right now they have to hold off this lead. Remains a 1-2 count off that foul ball.
I mean, we saw yesterday all the offense for the Pioneers came in the final 2 frames of that one. Going to need a similar situation today if they want to head out of here with a victory.
And this is the West Division semifinals game, a single elimination game, win or go home. 1-2. That one bounces in the dirt. It's going to be a 2-2 count coming into Costello here. The winner of this ball game plays against the winner of the Batavia and Auburn game, which right now is in the top of the 6th inning. It's 8-1 in favor of Batavia. Auburn has 2 men on, though. Trying to slowly chip away at that lead. This one swung on a miss there by Costello for a punch out. So 1 down there, as that one will be the 4th K for Mikey Geisler.
Yeah, definitely not quite on the same level here for Geisler that McLean is on when it comes to getting strikeouts in this game, but he has done a fantastic job as well on his own side of the ball here, just giving up 2 runs up to this point, only 5 hits as well.
So 1 down here. That one goes for a strike. It's going to be an 0-1. Coming on now. As the Jamestown Tarp Skunks lead this one 2-0. They scored both runs in the bottom half of the last inning. That one fouled off by Dugan. It's going to be an 0-2. Following a sacrifice fly and a single. But have to give a lot of props to Jordan, who had 2 steals when he got on base. 0-2 now incoming, 1 down. That one's in the dirt. It's going to be a 1-2.
Yeah, Geisler tries to go to the fastball there, just winds up missing low in the zone there. But in an 0-2 count, you're basically free to throw whatever you want on the mound, whether that be a pitch at the eyes or a pitch that bounces, just trying to do anything to get that swing and miss and knowing that you can afford to miss with a pitch like that.
So 1-2 incoming now to Dugan. The throw, that one swung on a miss there. 4 strike 3, so another punch out here from Geisler. He's got 2 down, 2 by way of strikeout. And so now coming up is going to be Nate Muncy, as Geisler looks to continue to try and get through this. The bullpen is now completely cleared down for the Pioneers, so no one's getting up and loose right now. 0-0. The pitch, that one outside, ball 1.
Wouldn't be shocked if this winds up being the final inning for Geisler. Yesterday in Auburn, Zach Nelson threw all 9 innings, so the bullpen about as ready as you can have it for the Pioneers.
And he had just 2 runs scored in the first inning and then continued to work. And that one's low. It's going to be 2-0 there. As Geisler continues to work here. 1 for 2 in the ball game is Nate Muncy. Was able to get a single his first time up. That was a 2-out count. That one's high. 3-0 now.
Yeah, not where you wanted to be in this at-bat here if you're Geisler falling behind 3-0. Now you just got to try and get this one over the plate.
3-0. Kick steals that one in there for a strike. Just clips the top of the zone. It'll be 3-1.
Gets the first called strike. Still nowhere near getting out of this at-bat here. Still a hitter's count here for Muncy.
3-1, 2 down. The pitch, that one misses just a touch, and that will go for ball 4. So that there will be the 3rd walk of the ball game issued by Geisler. And man's on first base with 2 down. As coming up is going to be Paul Delanto. It's a bat here. 0 for 2 in the ball game. He popped out and struck out in this one. 5 hits today by Jamestown, and if you're looking in terms of the 2-0 score, one of the big factors for the Pioneers, just 2 hits have not been able to get on top of McLean. No matter if you get a man on by walk and have some sort of fluky play, it's all down to can you get your bat on the ball, and so far today, Jamestown has just done a better job at that.
I mean, simply put, if you're McLean, it's easy to get through innings if the other team can't make contact with what you're throwing. He has just been lighting up the strike zone category today.
That one's down low. It's going to be 2-0, hitting into the dirt. There. So 2-0 count now incoming. As it's going to be a talk right now between Jones and Geisler. He walked the last batter, now sitting in a 2-0 count.
I believe this is the first mound visit that we've seen today.
It has been the first mound visit that we've seen today, and it's going to be a discussion between the 2 of them and then also Manny Estley, the second baseman. potentially also talking about what to do if the man starts running. Have to wonder if it's going to be some sort of sign communication to Geisler, considering last time there was man on at first. It was a steal attempt that he got to second base basically before Geisler even threw the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, just a bit of a lack of situational awareness on the bump from Geisler. You really can't let those happen to you, especially in a playoff game where every little instance, every time you can take the extra 90 feet, it's so important. And letting the other team do it without much contention is something that can't happen.
2-0, that one's up high. 3-0 now. As moving back out will be Watts to potentially continue to get loose in the bullpen. Still in Jamestown's camp, just some football being thrown. That one's up high, ball 4. So with back-to-back walks come in there, and now Coach Burkhant will step out to talk to his arm.
Yeah, I mean, normally whenever you have the catcher go out there, it's just about trying to refresh him, get him back into the mindset to pitch. Normally whenever you see a coach go out, it's you're going back out there and you're saying, okay, here's our game plan, here's what we want you to do. Just try and execute. You're just one pitch away from getting out of the inning, although you did put yourself into a bit of a difficult situation here.
2 down, man on second, man on first. Does not look like it will be the end of the day for Geisler. Potentially tell him that this is close to being... My guess there is that just try and get the out and potentially the last inning of work from him. See if Watts comes back in or if Rylander ends up going. But now coming up is going to be Jackson Enders.
If I had to guess, we're going to be seeing Sam Watts come in next inning.
So 2 down now. Man on second, man on first. Look goes in. And now getting set is going to be Geisler. The pitch, that one inside for a ball. Comes close to the head of Enders. Does not look intentional.
Yeah, certainly don't want to hit a batter here to load the bases. I mean, there is still 2 outs in the inning, but don't want to try and do any more damage to yourself than you've already done here. If you're Geisler, you're just trying to get out of this inning.
1-0. Here to Enders. Great day defensively from the 6th spot, and that one is swung on there for a strike. They call us on the swing. Be a 1-1.
Yeah, saw a good slider there. Just couldn't quite get the hands to stop in time. So often, it can be incredibly difficult to try and stop yourself in a check swing there, and right there, Enders goes around.
1-1 the count. 2 down. Looks back, looks forward, looks back, kicks, steals. That one is going to be just a touch high for a ball. And you had a reaction to that one. I think you thought that was a strike.
I mean, again, I've said it probably 10 times. We're certainly not at the best vantage point from where we're situated here in the press box, but been a lot of close pitches where it's been difficult today to try and figure it out.
2-1, 2 men on. That one runs inside. It's going to be 3-1 now.
Yeah, and I think Geisler, this very well could be his last at-bat here. It seems like, I mean, he gave you just about everything he could here, but it seems like now he's running out of gas. He was running on fumes, and looks like those might have run out.
He went through 5 shutout innings, so have to give him a lot of credit. 3-1, the pitch, that one goes in there for a called strike. It's going to be a 3-2.
Yeah, runners are going to be in motion here, so Pioneers have to be aware of that in the field, making sure they know ground ball and the best play is going to be going towards first.
Full count incoming now, 2 down. Look from Geisler to Ryan Jones behind the plate. It's a full count. It's a man on second and a man on first. Geisler gets set. He looks. He kicks. He deals. That one outside, ball 4.
Tried to work the outside corner there to Geisler, just a little bit outside there, and it looks like that'll be the day. That'll be the end of the road for him.
And so Coach Drum now steps up, gives the sign over to the bullpen, and coming out will be a new arm for the Elmira Pioneers. That will do it for Mikey Geisler's day here in Jamestown. When we come back, Sam Watts, he pitches for the Elmira Pioneers. Here in the bottom half of the 7th, he's got 3 inherited runners, though. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Made, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, ServPro, Serve You Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South Corning Collision, the United States Army, the United States Navy, Vasco Brands, Wegmans, Wise Markets, Well Now Urgent Care, WETM, Wiggle 100, and Woodbrook Assisted Living. Thank you for sponsoring the Elmira Pioneers, and go Pios. Return here, Sam Watts comes onto the mound for the Elmira Pioneers to take this one forward. He comes in with 3 inherited runners given by Mikey Geisler, who overall, well, the score may not show it, had a spectacular day.
Yeah, I mean, he got through 5 innings just about as well as you could have asked him to do. Didn't allow any sort of damage. Had only allowed 3 base hits up to that point. Definitely not the ending to his outing he was looking for after giving up a pair in the 6th and leaving him loaded here in the 7th inning. So it'll be up to Watts to get out of this inning. However, he does have to record just 1 out.
6 2/3, 5 hits, 5 walks, 6 Ks. Right now, 2 runs earned, but could potentially change if one of these runs comes home. But now up to that comes Caleb Jordan, who got the first run of the ball game. Out in Batavia, Batavia is just putting on the scoring against Auburn. It's 12-1 in favor of the Muck Dogs. The winner of this ball game, whether it's Jamestown holding on or Elmira coming back for a second night in a row, would go and face the winner of that one, which right now looks to be in Batavia's camp. As we're getting ready for the first pitch here is going to be Sam Watts going against Caleb Jordan. Bases completely loaded here for Watts. Traditionally the closer for the Pioneers. That one outside, ball 1. He threw 4 1/3 against Geneva last week on Wednesday. Trying to see if he can continue that sort of production here as we're in the bottom of the 7th inning. First pitch outside ball for UMass Dartmouth pitcher. Pitching to a fellow teammate in Ryan Jones. That one's outside, 2-0.
And Watts has to make sure that he finds the strike zone here. You simply cannot afford to fall behind into a 3-0 count in this situation. Got to do everything you can to get the strike zone on this pitch.
2-0 coming on here. Jordan already has a single so far today. Trying to see if he can put some screws in this baseball. That one getting in there for a strike. 2-1.
Huge strike 1 there from Sam Watts. Now it's going to be about trying to get strike 2, get himself into a better situation to get out of this inning.
2-1 coming now. Watts gets set to throw. It's in there. It's going to go up high, 3-1.
Again, another pitch that looks very close, just not quite in the strike zone there. Now Watts has to make sure that this pitch finds the zone, but you can't leave it too far over the zone here, as Jordan has a chance to punish you if you leave it over the middle.
3-1, 2 down, bases completely loaded. A pitch outside. It's a 3-0 lead for Jamestown. The throw, that one is going to be in there for a called strike. Jordan looked like he was going to try and swing on that one. Last second, holds off. doesn't matter. Called strike. It's a full count. Pitch outside, and it's 3-0 lead for Jamestown. Pitch inside, called strike. Ends the inning with 3 stranded. Set on the rubber. Looks down. Watts, payoff. That one, foul.
I like that pitch a lot there from Watts. He goes to the changeup. Nearly got the swing and miss there from Jordan, but did just enough to stay alive at the plate, and we'll do it again.
Watts gets back on and ready to go. Trying to get the last out here of the 7th inning before getting his bats back up and going for the Pioneers. The throw, that one's hit on the ground. Stretching out for that one is Dubek. He throws over to first for Watts. Can he step on it? He can for the 3rd out. Great play there by the defense to get out of that one with the bases loaded. It remains 2-0 in favor of Jamestown. When we return for the top half of the 8th inning, the Pioneers bats have to start getting something going. They're down to the last 6 outs of the rest of the season. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Made, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, ServPro, ServU Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse. Top of the 8th now upcoming for the Elmira Pioneers. No runs scored in the bottom half of the inning despite the bases being completely loaded. Anthony Labonte alongside Evan Baird taking you through this 9-inning contest, the West Division semifinals. The Pioneers and Jamestown have faced off just once this season. This is the 2nd time they meet. Jamestown won that first one at Dunn Field. This is the first one at Dynatrack Park. As up to bat comes Tyson Gingrich, 0 for 2 on the ballgame. As Glenn remains on the mound. First pitch from him, that one's outside, ball 1.
Good start to the at-bat for Gingrich, and this is a huge at-bat right here. Having the leadoff man on with nobody out versus 1 out and Tidwell coming up to bat is 2 entirely different scenarios in this baseball game.
1-0 here for Gingrich. The throw, that one swung on a miss there for a strike.
We've seen
the Pioneers so far in this ballgame have not gotten to second base at all. Not a single time.
Yeah, I mean, what McLean's done today has just been exceptional. We've seen a lot of swing and miss today, and that's what's allowed him to be so successful as this game's gotten into the later stages.
That one goes for a call and strike. It's a 1-2. 1-2 count coming now here. Just 2 hits on the ball game by the Pioneers. That one outside. And they've had just 3 base runners.
Yeah, just truly been a phenomenal outing here for McLean. It seems like the only situation that would really prevent that from being the case would be if he exits this game with the Pioneers in the lead, but the way he's pitching right now, it doesn't seem like that could be the case.
2-2. Swung on a miss there, grabbed on by the catcher for the out. So another strikeout comes there for him on the mound for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks.
Yeah, it seems like no matter what he throws right now, it's just the right pitch at the right time. Getting the swing and miss nonstop today has been McLean. He's been exceptional.
He's hit double digits, 10 strikeouts in this ball game. Outstanding performance so far. Pioneers looking to continue to battle back. Up to bat comes Jalen Tidwell. 0 for 2 in the ball game. He flew out to right and also caught strike 3 looking. That one's outside. Ball 1.
Good take there on the first pitch. Looked like he got an off speed and was signaling towards Trevor Reed on deck that he got an off speed on the first pitch.
So far today, just 82 pitches coming from McLean. That one's too high. It's going to be 2-0. And just 1 walk in the ballgame. That's the definition of a power pitcher right there.
I mean, this has been one of the best pitching performances that we've seen all season. Certainly been what will go down in Tarp Skunks history if he's able to maintain this pace he's pitching at.
2-0. Looks down now and gets set. The pitch, that one, goes for a strike. So now it's going to be a 2-1 count. That one just clips the corner.
Tidwell shaking his head at that call. He didn't seem to love it, but now he's going to find himself still in a hitter's count here, but just has to be a little bit more ready to swing the bat.
2-1, 1 down. The pitch. That one goes for a called strike again. Tidwell thought it was outside. He gave a signal as to that, but it's going to be a 2-2 count.
Now he's just got to protect here. Probably going to see McLean go back to that pitch after he took it twice.
2-2. Outside corner, strike 3. It hits the same spot 3 times in a row, and that's what McLean's done well. And he says some things over to Trevor Reed as he walks on over. Second strikeout of the inning.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the strike zone has been like that all day. The Pioneers simply have not been able to adjust to that strike being the case. Seems like they're all kind of still set on the strike zone being what they think it is, and I think that's definitely cost them a lot today.
0 for 2 in the ball game is Trevor Reed. He struck out looking and flew out, just like Jalen Tidwell did towards right field. That one's too high. Ball 1. That last batter started off 2-0 and Jalen Tidwell, and then it transformed to a 2-3 on 3 pitches going by.
Yeah, even when McLean's out of an at-bat in a 2-0 count, he really isn't. As like you said, he came back and fired 3 consecutive strikes.
That one, outside, ball 2. That looked very similar to the pitches that Tidwell saw, but right there goes for a ball. It's 2-0.
Again, I'd like to say we don't have the best vantage point to figure it out, but could it very well be some inconsistency behind the plate as well.
2-0 incoming now for Trevor Reed. Pitch, that one goes there for a strike. Good one there by McLean to get the strike there. It's a 2-1 with 2 down. 5 hits so far by the Tarp Skunks, just 2 by the Pioneers. The throw, that one, strike right at the thigh. It's a 2-2 count now with 2 outs. McLean looking to get strikeout number 12 on the ball game here in the top half of the 8th inning. The pitch, that one ripped, heads over towards right field, and it's going to drop. That's a hit by Reed. It goes past the right fielder's glove. He heads towards second base, and that one will go for a hit for Reed. He gets to second. It's a man in scoring position. First time today that a Pioneer has been on second base.
Yeah, Reed gets another fastball there, and it's finally about time that a Pioneer is able to catch up to it. Sends it into right field and misplayed out there a little bit. This one will probably be a hit with an error that allows Reed to advance to second base. But now for Ryan Jones, a base hit, and you're right back in this game.
Scoreboard right now does not have that error ruled. We'll wait on and see what the official scoring decision is, but now coming up is going to be Ryan Jones for the Pioneers. The catcher steps on in now. So, yes, it will be a single that reaches via error there. And E9. Jones gets ready to go. He has some big swings. He had a double earlier last week that scored a run. If he can get another extra base hit here, that would break up this shutout.
Yeah, and I mean, right here, it's going to have to be a get on base by any means necessary. Just try and do everything in your power here to beat McLean in this at-bat. Definitely easier said than done, but a 1-0 count here for Ryan Jones.
Reed has some speed over there at second base. He's coming as pinch runners multiple times this season. That throw swung on a miss there for a strike. It'll be 1-1. Ryan Jones has struck out 2 times today so far. He's gone down swinging, though, here.
And I think he's almost been a little bit too aggressive at the plate. Definitely seems like McLean's been able to get him to chase his fastball out of the zone a lot today.
1-1. Look back. Steps and throws. That one swung on just behind it. It's going to be a 1-2.
Yeah, just another fastball to Jones, and he's just not ready for it. And McLean has gone to his fastball a lot. Maybe has Jones too ready for a fastball here. Could throw an off-speed and get him well out in front of it for strike 3.
1-2 count. Coming in now. 2 down for the Pioneers. Man in scoring position. The first time they've had a man there today. Look. Sad. Kicks. Deals. That one. Swung towards right field. Getting out and sliding for that one. Great catch there by Nate Muncy to make the out and hold off the potential of a Pioneers run. That is just a tough play for Ryan Jones, and this heads to the bottom half of the 8th. Pioneers trail 2-0. Jamestown looks to extend their lead before the Pioneers go down the last 3 outs. We return here, bottom of the 8th inning, waiting on Ryan Jones just to put on the gear, following what was a spectacular play by Nate Muncy out in right field to hold on to this 2-0 lead.
Yeah, that thing was hit beautifully by Ryan Jones out towards right field. There's nothing you can do about it when you put a barrel on the bat. You finally feel like you won an at-bat, and then just right fielder makes a sliding catch and just snatches that one away from being a base hit.
And now Sam Watts comes up to pitch, continuing here. He's thrown just a third of an inning so far. He came in with bases completely loaded and now gets ready to go. Grant Moore steps up, the leadoff man for the Tarp Skunks. 4th time through the lineup here. He has a single. He also walked. 1 stolen base, 1 time caught stealing. As the look goes down there, Watts comes set and ready to throw. The pitch, that one outside, 1-0.
And Watts got the out to the lone hitter that he's faced, but definitely has not had his best stuff so far today. Obviously was able to dial it in when he needed to with the bases loaded with that situation that he walked into, but definitely feels like he doesn't have the best feel for the strike zone today.
1-0 incoming here. The pitch, that one outside, 2-0. Out in Batavia, bottom of the 7th inning, it's 12-1 in favor of the Muck Dogs. They look in line to go back to the West Division Championship once again and trying to win back-to-back years. Winner of this one takes on the winner of that one. 2-0 count now. The pitch, that one swung. Missed there for a strike.
Good job out there by Watts to make sure that he gets strike one. Looks like Rylander's starting to get loose out there in the Pioneers bullpen. But for right now, Sam Watts just has to do what he can to stay in these at-bats, get these outs where he can.
And there is a right-hander over for Jamestown that's beginning to get a little loose. So potentially a closer comes in.
I'd certainly say this is McLean's game to finish, but if he does get into any trouble, that's where you could see a call to the bullpen.
2-1. Coming on now, here to more. Watts delivers. That one goes for a called strike. It's going to be 2-2. Two's on the board right now. Sam Watts got that last out of the last inning on a ground ball that Dubek flipped on over to him. No strikeout so far. The Jamestown Tarp Skunks have just struck out 4 times today. Throw, that one, foul. Or a correction on that, they've struck out 6 times today. First 2 outs of the 7th did come by a strikeout. But entering into that 7th inning, just 4 times. 2-2 here from Dietrich Park, the home of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, the number 2 seed in the West Division. That one fouled.
If that one had another 1.5 feet behind it, that one, I think, might have hit one of us.
It probably would have gone after you. It went towards your section. You would have had to use your third baseman skills to make the grab there. Remains a 2-2 count.
Lucky for me, that one didn't wind up in the press box.
So there's a flash in the sky. Essentially some lightning in the area. The pitch, that one, ripped foul.
Definitely enough humidity in the air for there to be lightning, but I'd like to think the umpires here are on top of it enough that if that were lightning, they would have been able to call the game. I mean, real chance that maybe just out in the distance a car had the high beams going a little too bright.
I mean, have you ever been in when there's heat lightning? That's a gnarly kind of day when that ends up happening.
I don't know if it's hot enough here for that right now. Definitely a very sticky environment, but
that one goes foul there. Remains 2-2. I was driving back home once from my grandparents' house, and I saw some heat lightning come in. It was kind of a gnarly experience when you don't have any rain that backs behind and you just hear the loud boom come from the thunder. Still 2-2 here. Pioneers looking to try and make some lightning with their bats when they come back up in the 9th inning. But have to, right now, hold on defensively. That one's fouled back again. A great jump so far by Moore to stay alive in this at-bat.
And Watts threw the first 2 pitches of this at-bat for balls. Ever since then, every pitch has either been a called strike, swung and missed, or fouled off. Right now, it seems like he could definitely go a little bit more out of the zone here, try and get more to chase, and if not, you just deal with a 3-2 count.
2-2 incoming. Here to Moore. Center fielder. The pitch. That one. Just low. Watts thought he had that one.
Another great-looking pitch from up here that just winds up missing the plate there. That was a good pitch there from Watts, though. That was a good miss on that pitch. Now he has to go at Moore here and make sure he gets this one in the zone.
Full count. Moore was walked his last time up in the 6th inning from Mikey Geisler. 3-2. That one hit towards the left side of the field. He'll go foul. See another flash in the sky.
You must have a better vantage point than I do because I'm simply not seeing them
it's
right
heading
now.
over towards the hills that are on the left side of the field. Way past over there, you just see a little burst of light, potentially farther away than this one can see.
Might keep my eyes over there instead of on the baseball game.
3-2 coming in now. Pinch. That one hit foul once again. That goes over to the Jamestown bullpen.
I mean, a fantastic fight here between Moore and Watts. Still a 3-2 count here. Feels like Watts has thrown him just about everything in the arsenal, and he's either taken it or fouled it off. So your guess is as good as mine for what this next pitch could be.
Full count coming in now. Here. What does Watts go to in this one? The pitch. That one is hit towards the right side, and it's going to drop into fair territory for a hit on that one. Moving over towards second base is going to be Moore, and he gets in there safely. A double for Grant Moore. That there is the second extra base hit of the ball game for the Tarp Skunks on what was a 13-pitch at-bat.
We've certainly seen at-bats today result in better things for the Tarp Skunks, but that feels like the best at-bat of the day. You said 13 pitches right there, and it ends with an extra base hit. As a hitter, it's nearly impossible to feel better about the at-bat that you just put together.
And in scoring position, Eric Weeks gets ready to go here. As also getting warm over there is Will Nee in the bullpen. Throw, that one, inside, ball one.
And the ball gets away from Watts there. Middle infield fell asleep. Luckily, Moore doesn't advance. Definitely a misplay there for the Pioneers. Have to make sure that doesn't happen again.
1-0. Moore has the speed. He can steal about any base on the field. Only team that I've seen with more speed than the Tarp Skunks, those Batavia Muck Dogs. 1-0. Step off. Fans not too pleased about that one.
I think I saw a flash out in the distance that time.
Looks too far away right now. 1-0. The pitch. That one outside. Jamestown is currently doubling up the Pioneers in terms of hits. 6 hits to 3.
Yeah, this game has been not been a slugfest, to say the absolute least. Been fantastic pitching on both sides. The only blip in the entire game on the pitching side has been that 6th inning that Mikey Geisler put together. Even then, it felt like he was very close to getting out of that one without surrendering any runs.
2-0 count. 1-4 today. When with runners in scoring position are the Tarp Skunks. That one goes well inside. There, 3-0.
And now Watts has to find his feel for the strike zone. He threw a lot of pitches that were in the strike zone last time to Moore, but he fouled them off, fought, and got the extra base hit. Now it feels like he's a little scared to go at the strike zone.
3-0. Here. Man on second. That's Grant Moore. The throw. That one. Called strike. That was a great pitch there by Watts to clip the inside corner.
Yeah, I mean,
time is out. There was lightning there. And that looks as though they are discussing with the opposing side there in the Tarp Skunks. Potentially looking at the radar. The flash came on of the lightning, and the umpire immediately called. Let me just move the camera here so that you can see what the conversation is happening here as Watts throws the ball back on the mound. And Jones comes out.
I mean, yeah, lightning out in the distance there. Umpire does the right thing there to pause the game momentarily. They're going to be checking in on this one. And, again, a lot of times you'll see them go towards the phones looking at the radar. Want to make sure that there's no inclement weather here. However, if they have to delay this one, I'm sure they will.
As they continue to discuss, that's what it seemed like Watts assumed was about to happen. He's going to walk over now and go talk, you think, to Coach Strum. Does not, though. Heads over back to the diamond.
I think the decision is just let them play, try and get through this game. But if the weather does become a more apparent issue, they will be willing to delay the game in that situation.
So remains a 3-1 count here for Weeks. Man on second base right now. No outs. Getting ready here. 3-1. Watts. The pitch. Following the delay. That's in the dirt. Ball 4. Gets another man on.
Yeah, just definitely not the best at-bat there for Watts. Seemed like he was really behind in that at-bat before it even began. Obviously worked himself into the 3-0 hole. Just wasn't able to get out of it.
So no outs here. Man on first. Man on second base. for the Tarp Skunks, as up to bat now comes the next batter in Nolan Smith. RBI single back in the 6th inning. As first pitch comes in, that one's high, ball 1.
And Watts has to lock in here, find the strike zone. Falling behind 1-0 is one thing. In a situation right here, it really is not a situation where you want to fall behind 2-0.
A hit here, and Moore could easily get his way on over to home. The pitch, that one ripped. Gonna go towards left field, and it drops. Run is going to score, as that will be Chase Moore coming in. Watts with cleanup duties there. An RBI single, second RBI in the ballgame for Smith there with no outs. And want to make note, the second that ball was hit.
Large flash of lightning. I'm sure that's exactly what you were going to mention as well.
So it's 3-0 Jamestown.
And umpire is going to call time again. Might be going back to the radar here. Might be getting a delay.
As you can see on the bottom there.
Yeah, they're signaling to come off the field by the looks of it. So
they go into the delay following what was a 3-1 count. And Watts is definitely going to be a little upset with that, considering he was already walking off the field before the batter came up to go. So we'll take a step aside here. The flashes continue to go. There will be a delay. The Tarps are going to come out for the Tarp Skunks. We will return and give you an update when we figure out what's happening here from Dietrich Park. We're not at Dunn Field. Lightning delay coming in the West Division semifinal game. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Made, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, ServPro, ServU Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South Corning Collision, the United States Army, the United States Navy, Vasco Brands, Wegmans, Wise Markets, Well Now Urgent Care, WETM, Wiggle 100, and Woodbrook Assisted Living. Thank you for sponsoring the Elmira Pioneers, and go Pios. We return here as you see the Tarps come on at Dietrich Park in Jamestown, New York. The Tarp Skunks tarping the field. We enter into a rain delay here as you see the scoreboard right now. 3-0 in favor of Jamestown. Bottom of the 8th and no outs. Pioneers trail this one in the West Division semifinals. Anthony Labonte alongside Evan Baird. We'll get you more updates in terms of what's going on when this game will return. We saw the Lightning come in, but now, right now, in a weather delay, Tarp Skunks get the Tarp on the field. And this has just been one of those games that the Tarp Skunks have done just about everything right.
Yeah, I mean, only 7 base hits up to this point and only 3 runs to complement those 7 base hits as well. But when your pitcher has held the opposing team to just 3 base hits, has not surrendered a run, gone 8 shutout innings, I mean, that'll do it right there.
We haven't had any bits of rain pop in yet. It's just been those flashes of light come in. I'm going to have you check the radar just to let us know, because radar for us may be a little bit different than the radar down on the field. Depends on what's happening there. As
we checked earlier today, and it made it seem like we wouldn't be seeing a whole lot of rain during this one. Maybe it would come in towards 10 o'clock. And Strangely, it's not letting me look at the radar. Normally it does, but it says that rain is expected to start here in Jamestown in the next 5 minutes.
So could end up causing this game to have a bit of a delay come through in the final 2 innings of the ball game. And
it also, based on this, doesn't exactly look like the rain is going to let up for about an hour once it starts. So
I think the big factor is just going to be that lightning. If there is lightning that comes in, as most levels have it set, 30-minute delay with a lightning strike following the last lightning bolt that you see that ends this one. We had lightning in that last game against Jamestown. They ended up finishing that one quickly before it ended up becoming a problem. Then it just started pouring and pouring. It feels like the universe does not want these two teams to face off without a little bit of rain.
Yeah, I mean, there has been 4. This would be the 5th matchup of the year in an ideal world. This is just the 2nd of the season, and a large lightning strike going off in center field during that statement.
I'll put up the camera a little bit there so you can potentially see if there is some lightning that ends up striking here. Pioneers so far this season, it's been a kind of tale of a story of on again, off again, on again, off again in terms of how they've been performing. And they had that big win against Auburn, but it did come after what was a loss to Newark earlier that week.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like yesterday was definitely the game they needed it to be. Today has not quite been the situation that they were hoping for up to this point, although maybe a small silver lining to this rain delay here for the Elmira Pioneers. They will have to go back out into the field, having already surrendered a run with runners on base and nobody out when this game resumes. However, with the rain delay taking so long here in McLean, he might not come back out and finish this baseball game, which for the Pioneers could be huge news.
And as my mother always says, sometimes with the wind coming in, you can just see the leaves blowing inside out on the trees as you see the flash come in there in the outfield. And that's kind of what it felt like all day, both here in Jamestown and also back in Elmira, which Elmira ended up having some inclement weather. So it's going to be a little bit of a change there. Of course, Elmira's inclement weather came a little bit earlier in the ball game, or earlier in the day, not in the ball game. But here, right now, weather delay taking place between these two sides, the Elmira Pioneers and the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. Jamestown, 7 hits in the ball game, just 3 for Elmira. And the big factor in all of that, McLean has been pitching 5 times. He's caught the batter looking.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you have your stuff working, that's when you especially start to see those backwards Ks get racked up. And it seems like no matter what he throws today, he's hitting his spot where he wants to get it. He's getting the exact result that he wants from the Pioneers. It seems like there was a very quality game plan coming into today for the Tarp Skunks, and McLean has just executed perfectly up to this point.
And have to give props to Mikey Geisler, who did a complete job so far in this ball game. He ended up leaving following what was the last inning, the 7th inning, but only 2 runs through 6 2/3. I mean, that's an incredible performance for someone. It's just not been enough today.
Yeah, he went out there and did everything he could. And let's put it this way. If you're told that your starting pitcher can give you 6 2/3, allowing just 2 runs over that stretch, and that the reliever that comes in would be able to put out the fire that he leaves him, you got to be comfortable with that no matter what. It means that you may lose the game, but it means that your starting pitcher went out there. He gave you everything he had. He kept you in the ball game.
As some folks in the chat are mentioning right now, it has been a official game so far through this one. So if for some reason they were to end up calling this off, if this goes too long, rains too much, then it would be official for the Tarp Skunks. But I would be shocked if that's the circumstance in a playoff game, nonetheless to this magnitude, where it's even in arm's reach for the Pioneers.
Yeah, it feels like in a playoff game you have to do everything in your power to resume this game. It feels like even if they aren't able to resume it under normal conditions, they might try and power through, persevere, just do anything they can to get this game through a full 9 innings, because while the game is official right now, it just feels unfair to call a team out because they can't finish a game.
Anthony Labonte alongside Evan Baird taking you through this game here in the West Division semifinals. We take a peek real quick at what is the playoffs right now in the PGCBL. Elmira, they're at Jamestown. Auburn, they're at Batavia. And in that game right now, top of the 9th inning, Batavia currently leads 12-1 over Auburn, meaning that right now, if the score were to hold, Batavia gets 3 more outs, they host the West Division Championship.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just the 1 seed coming in and taking care of business. You get that 1 seed, and sometimes, and the rain now starting to come down here as well, but you can get that 1 seed, and it can be easy to just feel complacent knowing that you got the 1 seed. Obviously, the Muck Dogs go into this one knowing they have the 1 seed, and they have to go out and prove why they got the 1 seed. They've done a fantastic job at that.
And in the East right now, Utica, they currently lead over Socrates. That's a 3-2 ball game happening over there in favor of Utica. And so far on the game for them, Utica 8 hits to Socrates just 5. And that would be an upset there. Socrates, they won the PGCBL championship last year.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows how beautiful the sport of baseball can be and how unpredictable the sport can be as well. Just, you know, one side you have the 1 seed taking care of the 4 seed. In this game, you have a very close one between the 2 and 3 seeds. But then on their side as well, just looking on like there might be an upset.
And Amsterdam currently leading over Oneonta 5-2. So a lot happening there. We'll step aside. You see the flash of lightning come in there. We are still in a weather delay here from Dietrich Park. When we return, we'll give you a little bit more of an update as we get to know here. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Made, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, ServPro, Serve You Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South Corning Collision, the United States Army, the United States Navy, Vasco Brands, Wegmans, Wise Markets, Well Now Urgent Care, WETM, Wiggle 100, and Woodbrook Assisted Living. Thank you for sponsoring the Elmira Pioneers, and go Pios. We return here during the weather delay between the Elmira Pioneers and the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. There is some discussion happening right now in the live chat, which we thank everyone for joining us here on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network. Anthony Labonte alongside Emin Baird. There is a discussion about how last year there was some stuff that happened with the game between Amsterdam and Boonville. That one there. So it's something where here it all depends on what's going to happen. You know that the safety of the players is the important part of this weather delay. But right now, where it's such a close game, it's not something that necessarily you can really throw out.
Yeah, I mean, the rain really not coming down here yet in Jamestown. Honestly, may not come down at all. Just not really sure what's going on with that. But, again, that thunder and lightning still going off out in center field. Nothing you can really do about playing a baseball game when that's going on.
It's still very humid here. It's not cooling down yet because the rain hasn't fully been coming on. The fans have gone to take sort of their cover there. As over on the Elmira side right now, there are some players having a scene over there and just discussing game plan for if this one does end up coming back. Another flash in the sky, so that's another 30 minutes. That would be added on to the delay here. Once again, last time these two teams played was at Dunn Field, where it ended up ending one game in the doubleheader. The next game ended up getting tossed out due to a ton of rain that got onto the field. They weren't able to tarp the field because the game was still going on while the rain started. Not enough time there to tarp it. Thankfully, tarps have come down on now here at Jamestown for the Tarp Skunks. Once again, we continue to talk about this game, Evan. Jamestown, 3-0 lead. McLean, electric for the team. Could end up changing if this game were to continue on following this 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Another flash there, another 30.
Yeah, I mean, he just came in, took care of business in a playoff game. You know, he's just got to be a big game pitcher, and, you know, got through 8 innings, didn't allow a single run, only allowed 3 base hits. Just one man got into scoring position as well during the duration of the game for the Pioneers. Just a fantastic pitching performance. With the long delay here, more than likely will be the end of the line for him, but absolutely no complaints from what he was able to accomplish if you're Jamestown.
Incredible job here today. Out in Batavia, it's 12-1 in favor of the Muck Dogs, 1 down, top 9. In terms of the rest of the PGCBL, it looks as though kind of what you expect in terms of Amsterdam. They're leading 5-2 in the bottom of the 8th, but Utica 5-2 over Socrates right now. If they win that, they have a chance to go against Amsterdam, but so far in the season, Utica has not been able to beat them once, 8-0 against them.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like up to this point, the higher seed has been the more advantageous team, with the exception of that Utica-Socrates game. That very well could change, though, still in just the top of the 8th inning. You know, a lot can change for a team that has 6 outs to work with. We saw yesterday, Pioneers, when they were down to their final 6 outs, put up 8 runs across those 2 innings.
No information yet on when this game may return. We'll step aside here from Dietrich Park. Pioneers trail this one 3-0 in a weather delay. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Made, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, ServPro, Serve You Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South Corning Collision, the United States Army, the United States Navy, Vasco Brands, Wegmans, Wise Markets, Well Now Urgent Care, WETM, Wiggle 100, and Woodbrook Assisted Living. Thank you for sponsoring the Elmira Pioneers, and go Pios. We return here on the Pioneers Broadcasting Network. We'd like to make a note of what's happening right now in terms of the weather delay. The weights that were put onto the field in case of any sort of high winds that come on through have been pulled off. However, the tarp not being pulled off, there was some lightning flashes behind us. So that looks like a good sign in terms of the way that the weather's going.
Yeah, with that said, though, we are still probably about 27 minutes away from the current lightning delay as it stands. With how it's been moving as well, feels like we're more than likely going to see another strike within those next 27 minutes. And I'm not entirely sure when this delay began. I'm not sure if you put a timer on it, but I feel like we've got to be getting close to that 45-minute mark about at this point.
It sure has been a fair bit of time that's happened right now from the start of this delay to now, but still going to be a little bit longer than we do end up having to go with that lightning strike coming in. Of course, for those who are joining us here, it's the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 3-0 in favor of Jamestown. They have 2 men on right now. Batavia did win their ball game against Auburn. They won that one out in Batavia, so the winner of today's game heads on out there. 12-1 the final score in that ball game. So we'll take a peek real quick at the PGCBL playoffs going towards the championship. You can move Batavia up in the west side there. They took the victory over Auburn, a rival for them. They get ready to try and win their next West Division championship.
Yeah, I mean, something special definitely in Batavia. You figure in the sports world in general, it's so difficult to go back-to-back with championships. And then you figure you put it on through the lens of the PGCBL. So often you have so much turnover from one year to the next. It can be so difficult to try and find a core of players to build around because, simply put, they either graduate from losing their NCAA eligibility or they move on to another league. So very difficult to try and get things going. It looks like maybe players might be coming out to pull the tarp here.
Yeah, so people are now out on the field. It looks as though they're just standing around, potentially going to go grab and pull this tarp. We'll have to see. They're moving right on over there. Other games in the east side of the playoffs here. Amsterdam, they get their victory over Oneonta in 9 innings, 5-2. So Amsterdam continuing what is a hot season for them. They continue to work out there. The number 1 seed moves on. And then it's Utica and Socrates, the last one happening out there. It's the top of the 9th inning. Utica, they lead 5-3. They just have to hold Socrates in the bottom half of the inning to win this one and head to Amsterdam. And that'll be a tough competition there, and that'll be a tough one for Utica to overcome.
Absolutely. Amsterdam, just such a wagon out there in the Eastern Division. In a weird way, almost feels lackluster that they won their... Oh, a huge lightning strike just went off in right field, so restart that timer. But with that said, just an unbelievable team that Amsterdam has. And as I was saying, in a weird way, it feels strange that they only won a playoff game by 3 runs. It feels like they easily could have gone for the double digit.
Especially at that Amsterdam Park, they get a lot of home runs there. 2 short wall over towards left field that they've just been able to destroy baseballs at. And that's what helps for those sorts of right-handed batters that pull so well, or opposite field hitters, of course, for the lefties. They're waving out the tarp right now, probably get some of those creases out there. As Evan mentioned, a big lightning strike happened towards right field, but now they're beginning to pull right now. And so the tarp of the Tarp Skunks does come off the field, and they get ready to go here as it continues to go. They've been playing rain songs throughout the delay so far, but once again, there hasn't really been any rain.
Yeah, I mean, it's stayed fairly dry here. I mean, if you look out right now towards the field, it's definitely sprinkling a little bit, but if you're standing out there, you'd really have no idea that there's any sort of precipitation coming down. So certainly a strange situation to be in, but again, until that lightning starts to resolve itself, there's really nothing we can do about this.
Yeah, so as we've mentioned, Batavia wins their game in the West Division semifinals. They move on. They take on either one of these 2 teams in Jamestown or Elmira. Jamestown right now leads 3-0 off the back of their starting pitcher in Zachary McLean. Ended up going 8 shutout innings in this ball game.
You can't quite close the book on them yet. It certainly feels like you can, given the weather delay, but there is still the real chance he wants to come out and try and finish this game. Right now in the Pioneers bullpen, Sam Watt's still throwing, looking like he might be trying to come back out once this game could resume from the weather delay. But again, so often it feels like weather delays can just really stall you out as a pitcher because it gives you even more downtime to be sitting down doing nothing. You know, you can kind of lose that steam that you've built from getting deep into the game.
Also, with no outs here, as they have 2 men on, Jamestown still an opportunity to increase that score. It's 3-0 right now. They have scored 2 runs back in the 6th inning. They did not score in the 7th. Scored 1 in the 8th. Just the lone runs of this ball game that they've been able to work on as they begin to get that roller out and ready to go to tarp this one up. Good job getting the tarp out early on in case of any heavy rain. Did not end up coming. Still remains very humid here. I'm wiping the sweat off my brow with how humid it's getting.
Yeah, certainly a warm one here up in the press box. And strangely, it almost looks like the rain is maybe coming down a tick harder now that the tarp has been pulled off. If you look out towards the lights, you can see the rain coming down. Looks like it's certainly picked up a little bit. Right now, looks like an umpire and a member of the Jamestown coaching staff heading over towards the Pioneers dugout. So maybe some discussion about what the future of this game holds.
And we'll stay here while that discussion ends up coming. I'll keep the camera over here towards the Jamestown players. Doing a great job rolling up that tarp. It's always one of the great aspects of summer baseball, just how every player gets involved in terms of getting the field all squared away. When there are the rainouts there's
another lightning flash just went by, so restart the timer, and again, looks like that rain picking up a little bit. Umpires now in discussion with Coach Drum as well as a Jamestown coach there over by first base in foul territory, so might be getting the conclusion of this one earlier than we were anticipating.
Or potential chance of a discussion of when this game comes back into a possibility. And so, it looks like a field umpire. Is a conversation happening here. Waiting to hear from our sources about what was discussed there in terms of this ball game. As right now, Pioneers, it's the bottom of the 8th inning. When this game were to return here, team continuing to stay out there. Evan, I'll put you in charge of contacting our insiders down in the dugout to see what could have been talked about with Coach Drum in terms of when this ball game may end up getting back up and started. And Pioneers, once again, a win or go home game. The semifinals, one of those situations. As they take that tarp off is the Skunks here.
Looks like the rain has also started to ease off a little bit again after it started to pick up a little bit.
I mean, you said that it picked up. It wasn't really that much that it picked up. It was still very light in terms of it. It wasn't a downpour like we saw last time Jamestown faced off against Elmira. As we still wait on it, we'll take a quick step aside. When we return, more information about the weather delay when we get it here from Jamestown, New York. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Made, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, Serve Pro, Serve U Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South Corning Collision, the United States Army, the United States Navy, Vasco Brands, Wegmans, Wise Markets, Well Now Urgent Care, WETM, Wiggle 100, and Woodbrook Assisted Living. Thank you for sponsoring the Elmira Pioneers, and go Pios. Return here. A decision has come out there from the umpires about the time that this game will come back. It will come back at 9:50 here. We will step aside when we return. We'll return when the first pitch comes back out, and we'll see if Watts remains on the mound. It's a 3-0 ball game in favor of Jamestown in the bottom half of the 8th inning here. West Division semifinals, win or go home for both sides. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Made, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, Serve Pro, Serve U Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South Corning Collision, the United States Army, the United States Navy, Vasco Brands, Wegmans, Wise Markets, Well Now Urgent Care, WETM, Wiggle 100, and Woodbrook Assisted Living. Thank you for sponsoring the Elmira Pioneers, and go Pios. We return here for the game between the Jamestown Tarp Skunks and the Elmira Pioneers. It's the bottom of the 8th inning. This game coming to resume momentarily here. The lightning has seemed to stop, but the rain has picked up all of a sudden. Evan, you were talking about that rain that picked up and then seemed like it was slowing back down. Now it looks like it's truly coming down.
Yeah, it seems like the ground crew just can't really win today. You know, have to tarp the field once the lightning starts. Really don't get much rain coming in after that. Now that the field has the tarp been pulled, looks like we're just getting ready to get started here. And the rain coming down noticeably harder than it has been all night. So going to be a tough situation to deal with here, but it looks like we're going to try and play through it, get through the rest of this one.
There's 2 men on for Sam Watts. He returns back onto the mound. This is the last game of the day that's still ready to go. The only one that's been delayed, due to weather conditions. And so we get ready to return here. The Pioneers come back onto the field for this one. The 2 men on as Anthony Trommer will step up. The Utica Blue Sox defeated the Socrates Stallions 5-3 final score, meaning that Amsterdam hosts Utica, while Batavia, they host the winner of this one. Now coming up is Anthony Trommer, and what does this delay do to you as a pitcher?
I mean, interesting choice to see Sam Watts go back out onto the mound here. Hopefully he was able to stay sharp and try and just get a better feel for the strike zone, obviously, towards the end of the outing before the delay became a thing. The rain's still coming down, by the way, but definitely was struggling to find the strike zone towards the end of it. Hopefully he used that break to reset mentally, and now he's there.
1-0. Watts kicks and deals. That one swung hard by Trommer, heads over towards left field. It's back there, and it's going to knock on the warning track and against the wall. 1 run's going to come home, moving over to third, and now at second base, the man that scored there was going to be Grant Moore. So now this game becomes another one that goes to, that was Eric Weeks that scored, and now becomes a 4-0 ball game.
Yeah, not the pitch you were looking to make there. If you're Watts, just way too much played on that pitch right there. Gets punished for it. Now an even more difficult situation to work out of, and he's allowed another run to cross.
So it's going to be 4-0. 8 hits on the ball game by the Tarp Skunks, following that double by Trommer. His solo shot one there, as that one goes outside for a ball. It's 1-0. We thank all of those who continue to stay with us through this contest. We apologize about the weather delay. We, of course, have no control over what Mother Nature sends at us. But this game here going to be the last game for one of these teams. That ball goes past Jones, and on home comes Nolan Smith. It's going to be a 5-0 ball game in favor of the Tarp Skunks.
And it felt like if the Pioneers were going to come back into this one, they needed Watts to go out and get a quick 1-2-3, get the bats up, and try and capitalize on maybe facing the McLeanless pitching staff now. But Watts not where he wanted to be mechanically. He's now allowed 3 runs to cross the plate in this inning.
Man on third now, as moving over there was Anthony Trommer. It's a 2-0 count coming now. Set to go. The pitch. Inside, 3-0. A lot of difficulty right now from Watts. Trying to find the zone. Jamestown extended their lead. It's 5-0 here. In a win or go home game for the Pioneers. They're down to the last 3 outs when they come to bat. They have to get 3 outs of Jamestown now. Outside ball 4. Another walk comes in here, a 4-pitch walk at that. So men on the corners now for the Tarp Skunks.
Yeah, definitely not what Watts was looking to do to start the outing. Gives up the leadoff, quote-unquote leadoff from coming back from the delay, base hit, and then the wild pitch, and now a walk. He's worked himself into a jam here. Just going to have to try and get out of it without allowing any more damage.
Trommer on third, Costello over at first. C.J. Dugan steps up to bat. So far today, 0 for 3. One of the few players to not get on base so far today for Jamestown. First pitch from Watts. That one's hit on the ground. It's grabbed by Castro. Throws to second. On over to first. In time. Double play. Coming in. 2 down.
Huge play there from Castro, and something to note there, that ball gets hit towards third base. That's really the only spot on the field where it could go on the infield and the runner wouldn't be able to score. Great turn there from the Pioneers, but also a great job to prevent that run from scoring as well.
5-4-3 there. Gets the 2 outs. And now coming up is going to be Nate Muncy, who had what was, if we think about it, it was just a half inning ago, but it seems like a lifetime ago, had that incredible catch out in right field.
Yeah, I mean, top of the 8th inning is when that happened, and against Ryan Jones, who put a great barrel onto that ball, sent it into right field. Just fantastic play. I mean, just 2 outs ago by game time. However, close to an hour ago.
Yep, as we get back here. Getting ready to go. Watts on the rubber. 2 down, man on third. That there is being represented by Anthony Traumer. Sam Watts kicks, deals. That one hit on the ground. Castro will get his glove down, takes his steps over, throws to first. Bouncer grabbed, but they say off the bag by Brandon Duback. Watts is not happy with it. It seemed like Duback must have just slid his foot a little bit off. So now it'll be a 6-0 ball game on the infield single.
I think, again, that might have not been the best call. Looked like Duback certainly had his foot on the bag there. Great job to dig it out of the dirt there. I mean, didn't look like his foot came off the bag, but, I mean, this field ump has definitely had some trouble today.
So now it is going to be 6-0. They ruled that one as an error on Elmira, so it'll be ruled as an E5 there.
That may be an E3, honestly, if they say Duback came off the bag.
So 0-1.
I mean, still may be ruled the E5. More than likely will be an E5, but there is the possibility of it being an E3.
Delato. He walked one time today, 0 for 2. Pitch, that one hits him. Goes inside. Watts upset with that one. So now it's 2 men on.
Yeah, Watts just trying to get one more out here. Obviously, ball probably a little difficult to hold on to right now with all of the rain. And it looks like, yeah, they're asking for a rosin bag to go out on the mound. Looks like they did not put it back out there. Now the umpire asking for it to go back out there. So Jamestown's ground crew dropped the ball a little bit on that one, but they did do a great job.
They did a great job in terms of getting that tarp on the field in case the rain started pouring down more. Got it down real quick. So they wait on it.
I guess we're not getting a rosin bag.
Well then. They continue to discuss as here comes the bag.
Not really. Oh, now they have a rosin bag on the field being like
handled by the ball boy. It's a look over to the bullpen, and Watts will just shake it off, say, let's get this going.
Strange situation to have.
So, here goes 2 men on, 2 down. 6-0 in favor of Jamestown. That one's going to hit him. As Enders ducked down on that one. Hit him in the helmet.
Feels like that could have been avoided if we got a rosin bag on the mound.
Hindsight is 20/20, so now Watts will ask for it and get it on over to him. So now it's bases completely loaded right now. As it is 6-0 in favor of Jamestown. 3 on, 2 out. Coming up to bat now is Caleb Jordan. 1 for 3 in the ballgame.
And you have to imagine Watts, the frustration on the mound amplified even more that he basically had the 3rd out of the inning recorded. Looked like Duback had his foot on the bag when the ball was in his glove. However, wasn't the call.
That one. In there. Strike. Fastball by Sam Watts. 0-1 count. 2 down. Watts trying to get out of this one. Pioneers bats would have to get incredibly hot in the top half of the inning. Scores 6 runs to tie this up. 7 to take the lead. That one inside for a ball. 1-1.
Yeah, it would definitely take a lot to come back in this one. But we have seen this Pioneers team. They are very capable of having an explosive inning or two if needed. It also looks like Jacob Jones getting loose in the Pioneers bullpen as well.
So 1-1 now incoming here. The pitch. That one. Inside strike called in the corner. Falls out of the glove of Jones, but it'll be a 1-2.
Yeah, Watt's just one pitch away from getting out of the inning, try and get the Pioneers bats up.
4 runs scored in this inning. That's been split up following that 1 run that scored. 1-2. The pitch, that one got underneath that one. It heads over to shallow right field. Esley not able to make the grab. 1 run will score. Another run will score. It's going to be 2 runs scoring in there on an RBI single coming on there. So now the entire order has batted for the Tarp Skunks.
Yeah, just not really sure what happened there, if it was a miscommunication between Esley and Gingrich, where Esley was expecting to get called off. But difficult situation, and that's just how you find no man's land right there.
And so that one will drop in. It's now men on the corners here. It is an 8-0 ball game coming on now. As throw comes in, that one goes high. It'll be ball 1. The scoreboard hasn't adjusted for that one, but it sure seemed like a hit. That was in no man's land.
Yeah, it didn't look like any defender really got into a position to make that a routine play. Just difficult situation for Watts as he got the weak contact he was looking for. Just nobody was home to get it.
1-0. That one's ripped towards center field. Baker runs in, makes the catch, gets the out. We head to the top of the 9th inning. Pioneers have just 3 outs to work with to try and score 8. It's a tall mountain that they have to climb. We'll see if they're able to do so when we come back here on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Made, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, Serve Pro, Serve You Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South Corning Collision, the United States Army, the United States Navy, Vasco Brands, Wegmans, Wise Markets, Well Now Urgent Care, WETM, Wiggle 100, and Woodbrook Assisted Living. Thank you for sponsoring the Elmira Pioneers, and go Pios. Top of the 9th inning incoming now between the Elmira Pioneers and the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. The Pioneers are down to their last 3 outs of the year to try and climb the mountain and get back into this one. If they are not able to score 8, Jamestown wins the ball game, heads to Batavia tomorrow for the West Division Championship, trying to see if they can knock Batavia off, the reigning West Division champions. Anthony Labonte alongside Evan Baird taking you through the contest here today. Manny Esley, steps up to bat here. Due up is Manny Esley, Thomas Jeplick, and Manny Castro if they were not to pinch hit. As pitching now is Jack Santee for the Tarp Skunks. That one goes for a strike. A nice pitch in there. Gets strike 1. The day ends for McLean, who throws 8 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed, 1 walk. The big factor, no runs, 11 strikeouts.
Yeah, I mean, just an unbelievable performance there. Felt like he could do no wrong. Every time he got himself into a situation, you could put situation in air quotes because it was really just dealing with a runner on first base. He would just find a way to bear down and get the next few batters. And all day he just had that factor of just being out there on the mound, having that swagger, and also being able to back it up.
1-1 following the bunt shown. That one is swung foul. Would have been a swinging bunt there if it was in play. Goes 1-2.
Yeah, Esley just such a difficult at bat. And so many times he just can go in there. He can make the pitcher work for it, really no matter what. And you have to imagine what might be his last at bat of the season. We'll be seeing a lot of that.
1-2. Incoming now. No outs. Esley gets ready to go here. Santi looking to clean out this inning. No save situation for him. Pitch, that one's low. Ball two, excuse me.
Yeah, good job just to lay off from Esley. Also just trying to see what the new arm out of the bullpen has in these kinds of situations. Obviously just trying to see pitches, see what might happen in a 2-strike count, because it might be an 8-run game, but if you can do the little things right, you can claw back into this one.
Still raining here from Jamestown, 2-2. That one hit hard but grabbed by the third baseman there in Jordan for the first out. A hard hit ball by Esley, just a jump there by Jordan for the out.
Yeah, just a really unlucky swing there from Esley. Got a barrel onto that one, just sends it right over to third base, and just great play made over there.
So 2 outs remaining for the Elmira Pioneers that they have to try and work with. It's top of the order. It's Thomas Chemplik now stepping up. The DH, who so far today is 0 for 3, had a triple yesterday against Auburn. That pitch up high, ball 1. And Thomas Chemplik looking to try and get a big swing here. Put some momentum in the bats of the Pioneers. That one is fouled off. Big swing on that one as the home plate umpire asks for some more baseballs. It goes 1-1.
Yeah, and Cheplik, just another guy who can definitely work at bats. Hadn't really seen many at bats on the season up until these last couple of days here, but not a bad day at all yesterday in Auburn, and just trying to stay in the box here, see what he can do.
1-1. That one's inside. Cheplik has to lean back and step away. It's 2-1. Just 2 outs away from heading to the West Division Championship are the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. That one goes in there for a strike. It's a 2-2 count.
Yeah, now Cheplik just going to be protective of no matter what he sees here. Last thing you want to do in this situation is go down by the strikeout.
Pioneers have gone down by strikeout 11 times today. 5 looking. 2-2. Strike 3. That's strikeout number 12 on the ball game for the Pioneers. 6th looking. They've done so about half the time, and that's out number 2.
Yeah, it's difficult to generate offense when you just keep watching strike 3 go by you. You know, you understand that McLean was a good pitcher, might have been able to mix in a couple pitches you weren't ready for, just freeze you in there every now and then, but striking out 12 times with half of those being looking is just inexcusable.
It's 8-0 in favor of Jamestown. They are 1 out away from sending Elmira home and going to Batavia tomorrow evening. First pitch, that one's in the dirt. Castro holds up. It's going to be 1-0.
Yeah, and I mean, just about every time the ball bounces from here on out, the pitcher's going to need a new baseball. Obviously, just that dirt circle there of the plate being a little bit too wet right now to have the ball stay in play.
1-0 here to Castro. Keeps his hands up high. Pitch, that one in there for a called strike. He gives a sign of the cross as he taps around his head and chest. 1-1. Coming in now. Look down here by Santi. The pitch. That one hit hard by Castro. Heads towards right field. Muncie runs back for that one. Falls underneath it. Makes the catch. And gets the out. The Jamestown Tarp Skunks have defeated the Elmira Pioneers in the West Division semifinals. They head to the West Division Championship to take on the Batavia Mock Dogs in Batavia at Dwyer Stadium. But what a season it was for the Elmira Pioneers.
Yeah, just a whirlwind. You figure you go back to the opening of the season. They dropped back-to-back games to Batavia. We weren't too sure what this team would have in them, but getting a 3 seed, having a very competitive game up until that weather delay here in Jamestown, not a bad season at all.
And it was something where you just look at all the highlights of the season. Think of players like Caleb Delaney, who came in, batted .500 on the year. Landon Birch, the Birch brothers, both coming in and having complete game shutouts of their own. Larson went 2 complete games this season, or even Luke Richards, who went out to Niagara Falls and threw a complete game of his own. It's been an entire effort that got them to this point. Unfortunately, just not able to get over the hump of Jamestown or Batavia to move on to the West Division Championship.
Yeah, a lot of special talents in the pitching staff this year for the Pioneers. You know, you mentioned a lot of great names as well. Brendan Hayes as well threw a complete game shutout of his own back on the 4th of July. Lucas Hale definitely had some outings that maybe not as sharp as the rest of those guys, but he could certainly keep you in a ball game.
And then you look at some of the players that were in the field. Jack Tubman, incredible work from him. You look at Tyson Gingrich, that playing over in right field. Brett Baker, all-star name for the West Division on the all-star team for a good reason, just a lone fielder for them. They were playing well across the board. It's just those little bits that ended up falling down the season, but it's not something to hang their heads on.
Yeah, I mean, just a lot of great talent on this team, and mentioned how difficult it can be to retain some of your players in the PGCBL with eligibility and with other leagues existing, but this season the Pioneers had a fantastic roster, made the playoffs. That's really all they could do.
Evan, it was great working with you once again here on the broadcast. As this will be the last time we're here for the 2026 season on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. We'd like to give a special thank you to our owners, Robbie and Miss Nellie Nichols, alongside our general managers, Mark and Tabitha Witt. Our assistant general manager is Jacob Rose. We'd also like to thank our groundskeeper back at Dunfield, Connor Kenny, who does such a great job every single day out there when it comes to keeping Dunfield historic as it is. And then I would also like to give a special thank you to all the other interns that helped along in this journey here for the Elmira Pioneers. That includes myself, that includes Evan, it also includes the Dun Diva, Anna Carlenio, alongside Zach Wood, who is the DJ at Dunfield, our statistician as well, Ethan Franklin, and our social media manager in Ryan Copestick, who did a great job this entire season to make the Elmira Pioneers what they are and bring everyone together for what was a wonderful season of baseball.
Yeah, it was an absolute pleasure to be able to work with everybody this season in Elmira, and might not have ended the way that we wanted it to end here. However, can't complain about the season at all. Just great group of people that we got to work with and a great team for the Pioneers as well.
And so for the final time here, the Jamestown Tarp Skunks will go to Batavia to take on the Muck Dogs in the West Division Championship. The Elmira Pioneers dropped this one 8-0. We say so long here from Dietrich Park. Evan Baird alongside Anthony Labonte here on the Pioneers Broadcasting Network. We hope you have a great rest of your year, and we'll see you in May.